come up to greet you guys all personally. But due to my health reasons, I couldn't come up. So I do apologize. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Bob.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Bob Armstrong. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Lori McCarney.
Hi, Ross Isokane.
Good evening, Chulan Schubert Kwok. Welcome.
And online.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Lai. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hi, everyone. Dan Mestis. Thanks for joining.
Okay. Online. Dan, you there? Dan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Aloha. Dan Mestis here.
All right. Thank you. And then next to me, we have Camelia. She's our NCO officer. All right, thank you. We'll go ahead and get right into this. We'll go ahead and start off with public safety reports, including discussions on board committee inquiries, 5 minutes each. HFD, please. Are you online, HFD? All right, they're not here, so I reserve the rights to come back to them if they walk in, okay? Because they are first responders. We'll go ahead and next we're going to go ahead to Honolulu Police Department. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kalero Saka. I'm a sergeant with the Honolulu Police Department. This evening, I'll be going over the crime stats for the Chinatown area for the month of October and how they compare with the previous month, September. So motor vehicle thefts. For October, there were 6. September, there were 4. Burglaries. There were 7 in October and 2 the previous month. Thefts. There were 26 for October and 25 for the previous month. Assaults. 17 for October and for the previous month. Sex assault. There was 0 in October and 0 the previous month. Graffiti cases, there were 1 in October and 0 in September. Drug cases, there were 6 for the month of October and 5 for the previous month. Motor vehicle collisions, there were 67 in October compared to 101 in September. Total calls for service for October, there were 1,981. September, you had 2,407. I'm going to keep the questions limited for tonight because Detective Lynch is giving a presentation as well, so I don't want to take up too much time. So if I can, I'm going to turn it over to her.
Okay, so I believe he's next on the list, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be coming up during presentations. Okay, so, but yes. Get him some chairs there, please. Thank you. And then we can take chairs. You got seats up here if you guys want to seat up here. Sergeant Hosaka, I'm going to ask a public and come back to you. I want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Sean.
Hi, Sean Fitzsimmons, Vice Chair of the Downtown-Chinatown Neighborhood Board.
All right, so do we have anyone here in our lobby who would like to address the Honolulu Police Department? Hearing none, seeing none. Anyone online that would like to address the Honolulu Police Department? Anyone online besides board members? No? Okay, now we'll go ahead and we'll go to board members. I'm going to start off with Vice Chair Fitzsimmons, please.
All right, thank you so much for your time today. On October 29th, Civil Beat published an article regarding the state's purported crime statistics. The state, through HPD, has reported crime has declined almost 17%. But the article went deeper and concluded that that reduction was largely driven by a decrease in offenses reported in the city and county, which is reflective of the lack of manpower that's going on with HPD. So the question is there a way to accurately give the public crime statistics without in a different way? Because this is misleading. Representing that crime is going down is not true. And that's what everyone says and everyone purports, all these politicians, everyone. But we live in downtown in Chinatown, so we see a different story. And so we're wondering if there's another way to provide the statistics. Thanks.
I think you got to understand too, a lot of those crimes that we all see in Chinatown go unreported. So that could be an issue as well. What we go off is what cases are reported, what calls we receive. That's how we collect our data.
No, I understand, but the
Yeah.
question is there a conversation among HPD to come up with another way to accurately report crime statistics aside from that?
As far as I know, I'm not aware of anything going on right now.
Thank you. Next, we have Board Member Dan Mestis.
Hi, thanks, Chair. Sergeant, my question comes from some business owners on Hotel Street during the Halloween weekend. Apparently, there were officers giving out jaywalking tickets between the hours of 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. on Hotel Street between Uanu and Smith. And some folks were just curious about the new approach and any details that you might have regarding kind of the posture.
I know they're stepping up on traffic enforcement, and jaywalking is a traffic crime and it leads to pedestrian death. So, I mean, it's understandable why they'd be stepping up jaywalking and other traffic offenses if that's what their goal is.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Dan, you can put your hand down. Anyone else on this board who would like to ask a question? Go ahead. Secretary Rossi Sakani.
Thank you, Chair. Hey, Sergeant. Kind of following up on Board Member Mestis' question around Halloween. Just in general, I'm curious how Halloween went. I mean, we're all cognizant that the sponsored or organized or promoted event didn't occur for Hullabaloo, and we know that kind of helps things because that means the promoter will actually pay for special duty officers.
Yeah.
But I'm very aware that people still came out and you still had to serve, and it probably was a big burden. So how did things go in general?
From my understanding, it was pretty non-eventful as far as normally like what Hullabaloo would bring and stuff like that. They did have extra officers work. They had the bike detail working that night, so the ATVs and the bikes are out. Sorry, but our 4 watchers assigned to Waikiki because that's where most of the problems are. So a lot of the resources were sent to Waikiki, but there were resources set aside for Chinatown.
Okay. Go ahead, Board Member Armstrong.
Just a really quick comment about Saturday night, which I didn't know was Halloween extra night, but I was walking through Chinatown and downtown at 1:30 in the morning, and I thought the Honolulu Police Department showed incredible restraint and patience with the hundreds of people that were on the streets and in particular Fort Street Mall. So I just want to say thank you for showing discretion and letting the event evolve to its natural conclusion.
I appreciate that.
All right. Any other questions? All right. I'll go ahead and finish up. Actually, Friday night for not having Hullabaloo was actually pretty good. Everybody well behaved, and lots of police officers were out there. So we thank you for what you guys do. All right. We appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you very much. Have a good day. We're going to go ahead and move on. Okay.
Thank you, Board.
Okay. Next, we're going to go to, someone asked me for a motion to amend something previously adopted. Approval of rules of the agenda, rules of the meeting, and rules of presentation. If you guys check your Google Drive, there's 3 sets of rules. One is the rules that's here on your agenda, and then 2 others, yeah? So we're going to go ahead and start following through with this. Board Member Lai.
Chair, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I did review the document that was posted to the Google Drive, and it was a bit confusing in that it starts out as what appears to be a resolution that presents several different options, as you've just mentioned. I will disclose that it is my recommendation that the board potentially adopt the second of the options that's presented. Why? Because it's more focused towards the public, who are the ones that need to know how our board is operating. And rather, as the first option presents, it basically is more along the lines of reporting rules that board members will need to follow during each of our meetings, but we as board members are expected to already know and follow those options. The third option that's presented, as is noted, is the way the current rules of the meeting in the top box of every meeting agenda are presented. But it's imperative that we not adopt that version, because that version clearly, as has been stated in testimony presented prior, is in violation of our own neighborhood plan, section 214.127, which notes that a board is prohibited from suspending the plan or any portion of the
second.
neighborhood plan. And so for those reasons, because the top box currently violates that, I recommend that we adopt the second of the portions that are presented. Thank you, Chair.
All right, so before we go any further, is there any motions to get rid of the neighborhood board plan that we have, rules that we have, or to recommend another one? Is there any motions?
Chair,
All right, hearing
Chair,
none.
I'm a point of information, if I may.
So I ask, is there any motion to adopt one of these that are on there, or to stay the way we're at? Is there a motion?
Yes,
Okay.
Chair, implicit in my statement to recommend adoption of the second of the options presented is the
So
motion.
that is your motion to adopt the number 2. All right? Do we have any discussions on this? My fault. Is there a second? No second? Not here a second? That fails. All right?
Discussion.
We're going to go ahead and move on. Ms. Shintani, you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sorry. No, sorry for coming in late. I'm Nicole Shintani, and I am the member of this board.
All right, thank you. All right, next, we're going to move to approval of minutes. 1 minute each on this. Board vote to approve NCO draft regular meeting written summaries for video record Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. We have a motion on this.
I move that we adopt both as written.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, discussions. Any discussions? Go ahead, Board Member Lai.
Chair, thank you. Again, just asking for some clarification. I note that within this board agenda item 4.1 on our public facing Google Drive, I believe the last time I checked, there were 4 different documents. There appeared to be 2 different versions of each of the written summaries for the months of September and October. I'm not sure if there's a discussion that needs to be there, and if we can clarify specifically which of the versions are there. And then once those are specified, we need to move to a period of discussion for potential corrections to such. And as a preview, for example, one of those files does not include the actual date, the day number of one of the meetings. So until we know which file we're adopting, that needs to be clarified. Secondly, if there are any members of the Neighborhood Commission who might be in the audience tonight who were privy to discussions about the generation of such minutes and the 2 different versions thereof, the board might entertain a chance for anyone there who may have been at that meeting to comment about such before the board deliberates. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead, Board Member Rossi Isakani, Secretary Isakani.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So the approved NCO minutes are actually online, not just in our Google Drive, but they're on the NCO website. So Board Member Law, I just wanted to explain that. Now, within the Google Drive, the approved ones are the same that's on the NCO website. That is currently the motion on the table to approve those, the NCO approved. Now, just for context, what I did as secretary, NCO has started preparing alternative versions, AI-generated versions. They're far, far more detailed, I would say, than the current versions that we're looking at. Now, for context, just to try to explain, about 2 years ago, the NCO started posting online video summaries on YouTube and just saying that by rule, we could adopt minimal written summaries for video records. So that's the approved version right now. But just for full transparency for the board and everyone, I wanted to show that the NCO has started preparing AI generated detailed summaries. I think they're far too detailed. So I will be voting yes on the motion on the table.
Okay. Any other discussion from board members?
Chair.
No, not hearing. any.
Chair.
Go ahead, Kevin. This will be the last follow-up.
Thank you, Chair. As mentioned earlier, once and now we've clarified which files are to be discussed, I want to draw attention to the board that, for example, the written summary for video board approved simple draft, which I believe is the one that member Isakani has just noted. For example, the header for that document does not appear to include the date of the meeting itself. It just notes it was on some Thursday in September. Secondly, for the what I believe to be the October summary, I wanted to clarify to see if the error that was in the draft as circulated, which notes that member Schubert Kwok left that meeting at 2:49 p.m. has been amended. And then lastly, I would ask, no, I think I'll hold it for there because those are the two principal things that probably the board would be embarrassed to improve otherwise. So I would ask that those be addressed and amended before the motion proceeds. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Secretary Sakani, you got anything to say?
I haven't seen those errors in the draft, and I think the drafts are good as is.
Any other board members have anything to discuss? All right. Not hearing any. Not hearing any.
Can I make a motion, Chair? Motion then.
Yes, you may make your motion.
Thank you, Chair. I would move to amend number one, the September 2025.
You're making a motion to amend Armstrong, correct? Because there was a motion that made by Armstrong to go ahead and do the minutes as it was, yeah, as it was set up to approve.
Okay, but this is thank you, Chair. This is a motion to amend the document that's under consideration for adoption.
Okay. No,
Thank you.
we'll do the motion to amend first. So you're making a motion to amend. Okay?
Yes, sir. Chair, thank you. If I could state the motion.
But he's making a motion to amend. I have to allow the motion to amend. All right.
Okay, Chair.
Is there a second to amend?
Well, I didn't quite state the motion yet, Chair.
You say that you want to amend it. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to move to amend the document, which appears to be the written summary for the video record of the September meeting, to include on its top line the specific date of Thursday, September, and I believe it may have been the 4th, although I'm not exactly sure offhand. And secondly, within the other document that is, I believe, under consideration, which is the written summary for the meeting that we held in October, I believe that there is a line therein that indicates that member Schubert Kwok departed the meeting at a specific time.
All right.
And I believe this is on, and I've located it now, this is on page 9 of 10 of that draft.
Okay, they're looking at it right now.
And I believe it was an error in the AI generation of an event. Maybe it's supposed to be at 2 hours and 46 minutes into the duration of the meeting, but certainly not at 2:46 p.m. I think this is the type of thing that, you know, a simple proofreading of any tendered document probably would have caught. So it looks like based on prior timestamps, it should read, member Schubert Kwok left the meeting. I guess we could add,
page 9, right?
yes, as I read it, page 9 of 10.
9 of 10.
Although I apologize, now we're looking at the unapproved detailed AI draft. So maybe it's not present in what is the.
It's not. You don't have the AI generated one. Okay.
And if it's not there, then it should be present. And it is present also on page 4 of 5 of the shorter, simple draft.
All right, so we've got your amendment. So do we have a second to amend this to be able to discuss any further? Do we have a second? Not hearing none. It fails.
So,
now we can go on for discussions of passing the minutes as written. Do we have any objections?
Objection.
Okay, we have any objections. Discussions. 1 minute each. Go ahead, Board Member Lai.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Board members, I just find it very disappointing, just frankly, that we're not willing to amend something that's frankly wrong in the errors. We have the opportunity, presentation, to just change a timestamp and to add a date to the document. We do a disservice to our community and those who will be reviewing these minutes in the future, should they need to do any bit of research. Why leave them with an incompetent document? I urge reconsideration of the motion to amend before the documents are adopted. Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All right, not hearing none. Board Member Lai, so I'm looking at this minutes. Member Schubert Kwok left the meeting at 7:49 PM, 8 members present. Yeah, so this is out of page 4 of 6, yeah? Okay, so since we have discussions are over, we go to a vote. So go ahead, Board Member Armstrong.
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call goes by alphabet.
He's always first, so that's fine.
Armstrong,
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I, Fitzsimmons, Isokane,
Aye.
Lai,
Nay.
McCartney,
Aye.
Mestis,
Aye.
Schubert Kwok,
Aye.
Shintani,
Aye.
Chair,
Aye.
8 ayes, 1 no, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
All right, thank you. We'll go ahead and now we're going to be moving on to presentations, including discussions on board community inquiries. Remember, this is 10 minutes, so try to make sure that your 10 minutes is used wisely for questions and all that. We're going to go ahead and HPD presentation on crime Chinatown. Detective Lynch, go ahead, Detective Lynch. Nice seeing you again.
It's just an updated version of what I presented last time. It has a lot less stats. You have 2 more?
Chair.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted to update you that since the last time I did come here, the crimes against elderly have actually gone down a little bit. The key reason is a couple of our frequent flyers have been locked up. So I noticed the trend before I figured out why it happened. So that's great. I just wanted to if anybody wasn't here last time, it's just ways to reduce being targeted by these guys, because I see enough of their pattern that they're just looking for opportunities. So if we could reduce their opportunities, that would help a lot. A lot of the problems, this might address some of the questions you had earlier about the reporting of the crimes and everything. There is a fear of not wanting to prosecute. I come across that a lot, unfortunately. I can have a suspect identified, but the complainant does not want to prosecute. They don't want to go to court. They don't want to have to face the person. They're worried about retaliation. And I understand, it's not my things that were taken, but they don't want to testify. They're not sure about how our procedures work. And they just don't want to have to face the person in court. So I just wanted to break down the items that are mostly being taken as wallets, purses, and cell phones. And the main thing is,
Chair.
if you're walking around Chinatown, please don't just put your wallet or your phone in your pocket and just be walking down the street. I have way too many times where they just whoop and they're gone. Okay. Things are gone. So try to keep your belongings as secured as possible. If you're reporting a crime, please make sure to call 911, because the sooner we can get to the scene, the sooner we get a description of the suspect, the more likely we are to try to find them. If you wait, call somebody first, you discuss it, and then an hour later you make the report, it's already too late. It's a cold case at that point. So I just want to emphasize, if anybody has their property stolen, please call your financial institutions immediately. Have your credit cards, debit cards frozen. Even if somebody attempts to use a card and they're unsuccessful because your card has been frozen, that's still an offense that we can make. Just the attempt is enough. They don't have to be successful. So just make sure you call your financial institutions immediately. If you do notice any usage, please make sure to call 911. That's a separate report you have to make. So if your wallet gets stolen, I might get that report. But if their credit card is used, that goes to the fraud section. That's a separate report you have to make. Try to track your electronic devices immediately if you can. That helps us a lot as well. If you have the capability or have some friend, family member help you to track your devices, and try to have any of your devices that have a serial number, your bicycles, your laptops, your cell phones, anything that has a serial number, please have it documented somewhere so that if you make the report, we can associate your serial number with the stolen item. And then if it turns up somewhere, we can get it back to you. If you don't provide the serial number, it could be sitting in our evidence room right now. We have no idea because we have no way to tell it's yours. So if you guys could, document that somewhere, take a picture or of the box, your cell phone company will have the serial number, the IMEI number somewhere. Just basic crime prevention. Just be aware of your surroundings. I know it's hard when you're busy and you're got things to do and you got a shopping list and you got to get to this store and you're doing that, but just take a quick glance around every once in a while, look for traffic, look for somebody who's paying way too much attention to you. Are there people on bicycles and skateboards, that seem to be watching you? Again, don't carry your phones or your wallets in your back pocket. Keep your purses, fanny packs zipped up. And if you see people, I know it's common, people wear face masks now, but if somebody's wearing a ski mask and a face mask and a hat in the hot sun, something's wrong, right? So if you guys see somebody riding on the street and they're all covered up and you can see this much of them or sunglasses, something's wrong, okay? So just be aware and try to stay near crowds of people. Don't, if you're by yourself, like I said, just take a gander around, see who's around you. And try not to put your money or belongings away in front of people. Like, oh, here's where I'm putting my change. I'm going to put it right here so you can keep track of it, right? That's where they're going to target. So that's basically it. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Detective Lynch from the public? Please come up to the microphone. Please state your name and address me.
Hi, my name is Ming, and I live at Kukui Plaza. And I wonder, the police force has tried to install more cameras on the streets or Chinatown, around Chinatown. That's the question for her.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, and what do you guys do with the cameras if you do install them?
So I did bring this up last time. He was essential in making sure we got the cameras. Chinatown does have a lot of cameras that not only I can access, our DIT and Parks and Rec and stuff, they can access the cameras, but Chinatown does have a lot of cameras, and that's how I catch most of my guys, is with the cameras, honestly. So those cameras are great when they work. They don't always work. Sometimes they go down. But yeah, you guys will be able to see them. They're on the corners, a big bubble. Each corner has several cameras, but it's not the entire area yet. There's some downtown, there's some Honolulu Hale and everything, but yes.
All right.
We are watching.
All right. Thank you. Any other members there? Please come up, state your name, and direct the questions to the chair. Thank you.
My name is Dale Krupa. I just want to clarify, as an officer, don't you have to be able to identify the person at the trial to convict them? Well, that was told by a city prosecutor a month ago. You have to ID them.
Let me explain. There's no one universal answer for every case, but most of the time, especially if you don't see the person that broke into your car while it was parked, how would you identify somebody who broke into your car while it was parked overnight on the street, right? What you're identifying is I don't know that person and they did not have permission to break into my car. So that's the kind of ID that we also accept. Like you'll see the person. I don't know you. You didn't have permission to steal my car, that kind of thing. So yeah. So you don't have to know them personally. You don't have to have seen them. You know, if somebody comes and knocks you out hits you in the back of the head and you fall, does that mean they can't be prosecuted? Of course they can. You're just saying that, I know it sounds silly, but they didn't have permission to punch me in the face. You know, that's essentially what we're going to ask you is, did that person have permission to take your belongings or enter your vehicle or whatever the circumstances? So.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else in our lobby here today? Not seeing any. We'll go online. Anyone online that is a public who wishes to address Detective Lynch? All right. Not seeing any. We're going to start off with our board members. We start off with our Vice Chair, Sean Fitzsimmons, please.
Thank you, Detective. And I know I've been like kind of critical about the statistics. The aspersions are not directed to you guys at all. It's you guys are actually the ones on the ground actually helping us. My issue is like I don't like being lied to, right? And so you mentioned the refusal to testify. Yeah, your the refusal to testify you mentioned as like an issue, as a factor that may contribute to the skewed statistics, right?
Possibly, yeah.
That seems like a statistic that could be counted, right? With respect to like prosecutors' cases, and they say, okay, this complaining witness doesn't want to proceed. That's a statistic. Shouldn't that be counted? Should that be like a next step to ensure that accurate statistics are provided to the public?
I'm not sure how they're, counted now, because the way our system works is every case that's made and classified, there's several outcomes it could have. It could be, pending because it's never been closed because there's no leads to follow up or something. And there's cases that complaint withdrawn. Those are all distinctive that we have to.
No, I
put
understand.
the
I'm a
reports.
criminal defense attorney. I'm a partner with Miles Briner. So like,
Oh,
I
okay.
totally understand all this.
Yeah.
But the question is, it's like, I don't understand why that statistic can't be counted. Like someone refuses to testify, right? Like that's like a very clear thing when a complaining witness doesn't want to come forward anymore or whatever, because I've seen it in my practice. That seems like a really easy way to make the statistics more accurate. So I guess a question would be, could you inquire when you go back to the department to see if there's any efforts to at least like make the statistics more accurate to make, instead of representing that the crime is actually going down, you can say, okay, like actually a percentage of these crimes are actually not being prosecuted because of the complaining witness refusing to testify. Because I think the end result would inspire the public to testify, right? It would be a good thing to address the crime. Anyways, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other board members here? Okay, Board Member Armstrong.
Just a very quick comment because it's follow up on what you just said about the cameras.
Yes.
I do want to tell our neighborhood or just repeat one more time that was really a collective effort by all of us over many, many years to get those 40 to 60 cameras. And I think the list still grows and to encourage private businesses to get and by the way, the funding came from President Biden's infrastructure bill that was, hardly even mentioned to the public, and the city was on board with it and all that sort of stuff. And then, the addition of security crews or companies by private industries. I know that Safeway, because we've talked about it many, many times, has changed out their companies to get a little bit stronger service so that the parking lot is safer, the lights are
10
all working,
seconds.
and all that sort of stuff. And then finally, I think the biggest development lately is the business downtown business development improvement district, which will have boots on the ground for helping patrol at all hours of the night the downtown
wrap it up.
area, and it will soon grow, hopefully in a couple of years, to Chinatown.
thank
So
you
things are
very-
improving.
Thank you very much, Board Member Armstrong. All right. Any other board members? All right. Board Member Lai, please.
Chair, thank you. A few quick questions, just organizationally. First, I just wondered if we were in compliance with HRS 92-3C. I saw a handout being distributed at the meeting. Is that now available online for those of us who are attending remotely to review? It's less important if we are not going to make any action on such information, but it is key that that's made available. Secondly, I just wanted to ask a detective, when the neighborhood patrols go to visit the Downtown-Chinatown substation, and we do look at the array of video camera feeds, it's still consistently the case that the officers who are on duty disclaim any knowledge of or about or how to make use of those video feeds. And I think we all understand by now that these are basically retroactive resources. And so do you anticipate there will be any other changes to that as far as forward-looking or active intervention or monitoring of any
seconds.
type? And it's just disappointing to go in and see all the money that was spent on these cameras and then just to see the 3 large televisions just showing TV game shows in the evenings. Thank you.
Thank you.
So those cameras require access. They require a login. It's a liability reason. The less people that have access to the cameras, the more we can maintain their integrity, basically. So those officers that you see at the substation are not the ones investigating the case. They might initiate the case and then they send it off to somebody like me. I do nonviolent property crimes, robberies and things like that go to the CID section. And those people have access to the cameras, but the officers, we don't just give access to the cameras to everybody. They're playing live feed, but to access it, to go back and check the archives, you need to log in and be accountable for whoever's looking at the footage.
All right. Thank you. All right. And I'll go ahead and close this out. First of all, thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. Also, I would like to say a quick question. I'd like to follow up with Fitzsimmons' testimonies. First of all, I agree with him. If there's a crime committed, regardless if somebody's dropped the case or doesn't want to prosecute because they're afraid, it should be added to statistics because it'll make it real time. I agree with them. And it shows what is truly happening because I don't think what you guys are posting is truly reflective of what's going on in Chinatown because many of us actually walk the community, yeah? So we see a lot of this. But I do thank you for your time and we appreciate everything that HPD does for us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have the inaugural 2026 Honolulu Hong Kong Festival, Saturday, January 31st from 3 to 9 p.m. HK Temple Street Night Market celebration at 4th Street Mall. Food, culture, entertainment, family friendly, and admission event is free. Sunday, February 1st, 5:30 to 9 p.m. HK Milk Tea Heritage Dinner at the Jade Dynasty Seafood Restaurant. Sundays, February 1, 8, 15, 22, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. HK Traditional Lifestyle Tours in Chinatown, featuring Tai Chi, Feng Shui, Chinese tea, and HK Feng Shui. So, yeah, Feng Shui tea and HK Dim Sum while revisiting Honolulu, Chinatown. Daily, February 1 through 28, HK at your doorsteps. Promotions. Eat Your Way month in February. Dine at participating restaurants in Honolulu and Chinatown to win a trip to Hong Kong. Friday, February 27th, 12:30 to 5 p.m. Export Day. Trade Fair Industry Talks and Networking at the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone, FTZ, that's Zone 9. Sunday, March 1st, 5:30 to 9 p.m. HKBAH 30th Anniversary Spring Gala at the Wailai Country Club, Barina Poon. Barina Poon, are you here? Are you representing Barina? Yeah, please, because since we have it on here, yes. She said you might speak, so, but I wasn't sure, so.
Aloha, my name is Ed Karibsky. I represent the 4th Street Mall Business Improvement District. One of the things that we were rezoned as a street is we're trying to do more events. And one of the first things that happened is Marina came up to us and we want to do a Hong Kong night market. And I'm not sure if you realize, but all the trees up and down Fortune Mall are Hong Kong orchids. So we will sit there and have a stage right outside former Walmart Pickles and sit there and have just food vendors, whatever it is, just to celebrate the Hong Kong market. I'm not organizing it. I mean, it's something we encourage. And actually, I would encourage if you know any nonprofit that wants a venue, on the venue, like I'll pull the permits, I'll get the insurance, whatever it is. And actually Ernest is the one who put this one together, to be honest. So he's the one who told her. But that's all I can say is January 31st, we were going to do a Hong Kong Temple Street night market. And, please come out.
All right, thank you. Anyone have any questions for Ed at this time in the lobby? No, not
Okay.
seeing any. Anyone online have a question for Ed? Ed, we're not done with you. Any board members have a question? Nope, not seeing any. I want to thank you very much for speaking about that part
Okay,
of
now you're done.
the event. No, no. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move down to 5.3, a downtown family Christmas. New Life Church, Saturday, December 13, 2025, 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 p.m., Smith and Baratania Park. Putting on a free event for the public. There will be live music, door prizes, games, and free gifts for the children. Smith Street from Baratania to Pauahi and partial of Pauahi up to the underground parking exit will be closed for the displaying of custom cars and motorcycles. I think there is going to be an amendment to that. So go ahead, Jacob.
Thank you, board, for having me. Hello, everybody. Just to let you guys know what we're doing in the park, in Smith and Baratania Park on the 13th. It's a free event. There's going to be free gifts for the children. Of course, you guys see there's going to be a 25-pound bag rice. Got 20, there's a typo on there. But 25-pound bag rice for each home for the first 200 people that come. There's going to be door prizes, live entertainment, door prizes, got up to $5,000 of door prizes, which is flat screen TVs, rice cookers, things that everyone needs, toaster ovens. So, and as I said, live entertainment. So I don't know, you probably have something for me to take back and what we need to do about the music and all that. So just to be aware with the public, the neighborhood.
All right, thank you. Anyone on our public here in the library has any questions?
I'm sorry, and also another thing, as far as the road closure, we're looking at not having that because we don't have the permit for it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. That's an amendment I should have
Yeah.
asked for. So,
Yeah.
okay, I do appreciate that. Anyone, once again, in our library here that has any questions for Jacob? Not seeing any. Anyone online? Oh, go ahead.
It's going to be from 10 to 2. Yes, and I have some flyers over here that I'm going to put out over there so you can grab when you go out.
Any other questions, sir? Nope. Online? None? Okay. Any board members? We'll start off with Shulan Schubert Kwok first.
Well, welcome, Jacob.
Hi.
A long association with this board and the church activities, and then welcome back.
Thank you.
to putting up this important family event. So I want to congratulate you for putting this out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to go next to our Vice Chair, Sean Fitzsimmons.
Thank you, Jacob, for the presentation. Thanks for organizing it. Sounds amazing. Just one thing. If you could just limit any person who makes their motorcycle absurdly loud for no reason from like participating, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
But anyways, thank you so much.
Got it.
All right, next we go to Board Member Bob Armstrong.
I just want to congratulate you and the church. They've been a wonderful partner in our community, helping improve Smith Baratania Park and other things here. And this, I know, has been on the boards for at least a year. And so thank you for making it come to fruition and for really being a part of our community in the holiday spirit.
All right, next we have board, board,
That's okay.
board member Lori. Go ahead.
I'm going to make him say it. Thank you very much for bringing this to our community. If you haven't, be sure to get it on community calendars. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Same for the other one. We do have events that are starting up here, which is fantastic, but nobody knows about them. But one thing is community calendars, and just go on and Google, what's happening in Honolulu type of thing, and you'll see the different calendars that are out there.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
do that.
So after I did ask NCO to put it on the community calendar, did they not put it on? Okay, I'll check into it for you and get that
Thank you.
taken care of. Okay. Any other board members share first? We go first timers. Board member Lai.
Chair, thank you. I'd like to take this time, in light of the comments expressed already by other board members, to move that Neighbor Board 13 strongly endorse and encourage members of the community to attend this event.
So do we have any other questions at this time? Go ahead, board member Shuberquak.
Thank you, Chair. I was going to suggest when we did the Buddha Peace Festival, we put on Facebook for $10, and you can keep promoting it, and it's picked up by all the other social media. So it was very inexpensive for us to promote the event.
Okay,
All right.
that's good.
And second,
Chair.
yeah, hold on. Address, you got address the chair first. Hold on. So you always need to address. Make sure I address you. Go ahead, board member Shintani.
Oh, sorry. I was wondering is there a way, is there a protocol or a network for like allowing for these things to be posted on people's windows, in the businesses? Because I feel like that ends up being how I end up often finding out about events in town.
Yeah. We could do that, if there's ways that we could go to the businesses and post it, like put this up over there so they can see it. Yeah, because we need to do that. Yeah. Thank you. That's a great idea.
All right. Excellent idea. Anyone else on the board? Lai, I'll let you do a follow-up.
Chair, thank you. I wasn't sure if there was adequate time left for a second for the motion that was made earlier. I wonder if we could.
So we
ask if
haven't
any-
finished the discussion. We finish the discussions when I'm done. I said the last word, then we can go to motions, okay? So I'll let you make your motion after after this discussion is done. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I do, seeing no one else, I'm going to end this. I want to thank you guys very much since the Honolulu Chinatown's Lions Club donated so much money to the city and county of Honolulu and to the Downtown's Art Center. You guys have made great use of it. You guys see volleyball being played, basketball being played. So it's money that we've invested into this park. My Lions Club has invested to this club. And it's great to see you guys out there. So it's you guys, and there's that other church right here in the corner of Baratena that's been using it. If people would please go out to the park and use the park, bring your kids out. The park is getting safer and safer every single day. All right.
Yes.
So we really appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Board member Lai.
Chair, thank you. At this time, then, I'd like to move that the board wholeheartedly endorse the Downtown Family Christmas event and encourage members of the community to attend same. Thank you.
I second.
Okay. We have a first and a second. Is there any objections? All right. Not hearing any objections. This is approved. All right. So this board has approved the event. Thank you very much. All right. Next, we're going to move on 2 minutes each regarding issues not listed on the agenda. This is for public concerns. You go up to the mic, you state your name, and then you have 2 minutes to address us. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come up to the mic.
Again, Ed Karibsky from Fort Street Mall BID. Just want to let you know we're doing several things. If you walk down to Fort Street Mall, we've actually strung Christmas lights now between Hotel and King Street. So if you go there, this is one of the joint ventures we're doing with the Avalon Group. Next week, we are having a night market right outside Wilcox Park, again, between Pickles and Ross, former Ross stores. Actually, they will be opening the grand second floor of Pickles. So it'll be a big event. And thirdly, I want to say November, I think it's 18th. Thursday, we will be holding a craft fair on Fort Street Mall. So if you were looking for gifts for your family, please come on down.
All right, anything else? Okay,
No,
all right. Any other community members who'd like to say anything at this time? Go ahead, please go up to the mic, state your name, please. Oh, so we don't, you answer his questions, but go ahead.
all right.
Yeah. Go ahead. No,
He's gonna tell me if I'm done.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So we were doing a night market, right? And then on Thursday, next Friday, we will be doing a craft fair in the morning. So normally we do the open markets every Tuesday, Friday. We will doing a craft fair on a Thursday. I think it's the 18th, yes. So it's a different vendors, different market, like people come here. When they go to a open market, they're looking for fruit or bread, whereas the craft fair, they're looking for gifts.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Not seeing any.
Right.
Thank you very much. Nice seeing you, Ed. By the way, the ESPN was awesome. Thank you. All right, next we're going to move to elected officials. Priority to be given to elected officials or representatives that are physically present at the meeting, including discussion on board and community inquiries, 5 minutes each. I actually do not see anyone from any representatives or anyone. Yes. Oh, you, okay, go ahead. Yeah, you taking over for, Downs?
That's right. Good evening, Chair Carvalho, members of the board, members of the community. My name is Adam Lefebvre. It's my honor to serve as Governor Josh Green's representative at tonight's meeting. We gave you a brief report. I'd like to read just an excerpt from that report with your permission.
Yeah, go ahead.
Governor Josh Green announced on October 30th, new coordinated state actions to protect Hawaii families from the impacts of the ongoing federal government shutdown and disruption to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as SNAP, before federal benefits were to expire on November 1st. To provide this necessary support, the state announced plans to provide $250 in emergency relief payments per eligible individual for a total cost of $42.2 million in November, helping households bridge the gap created by the pause in federal SNAP funding. Today, it was announced that the funding would be pending in SNAP benefits accounts as of November 6th. With the funds being available beginning November 10th, a full 4 days sooner than the original deadline announced. The additional funding was made possible by the state through the Hawaii Emergency Food Assistance Program, that's HEFAP. And with that, I'd be happy to accept any questions you may have.
Anyone from our audience here in the library that has any questions, please come up to the microphone, state your name, please.
Hello, I'm Doug, excuse me, Doug Pyle, Kukui Plaza resident. I have a question regarding, I was at the event at the Capitol on Saturday, the Youth Climate Summit, and learned still more than I learned from previous news reporting about the Navahine youth settlement and the administrative goals in the Department of Transportation's settlement with the plaintiffs. And can you say more about that in particular? I know the number of people are interested in the impact on environment and in terms of the saving of carbon sinks, which I think is the technical term for trees and other green. Can you explain what that is? And if you have to research and bring back information next time, that'll also be helpful.
Thank you. Anyone else do you want to answer him?
No, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
don't have the answer to that, but I'd be happy to look that up and get back to you next month, if that's okay.
All right. Anyone else in our lobby here at the library have any questions for the governor's representative? All right. We're going to go to our board members. We're going to start off with our Vice Chair, Sean Fitzsimmons, please.
Hey, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. In the news this week was Josh Green basically saying that he's trying to negotiate with the federal government a new lease for the military lands. His idea is like he thinks it's worth $10 billion, which is awesome. I think it'd be great. But the federal government, on my understanding, can simply just invoke eminent domain and just pay fair market value for the lands anyway. So what teeth does Josh Green have to prevent eminent domain being asserted from the federal government? And what incentives does Josh Green have to push the federal government to engaging in this $10 billion request? Or is it just, illusory? Thank you.
Did you ask what teeth he has?
Yeah,
to-
what
like
teeth,
what
like,
are the tools he has
Yeah,
in
yeah,
his toolbox
exactly.
to
How,
prevent this?
it's like you can just say, yeah, I want $10 billion or
Sure.
something. It's like I'm not gonna pay that.
Got it.
Why would, so like it seems like the federal government can just invoke eminent domain regardless of what Governor Green wants, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what recourse he has in the event that eminent domain is invoked.
Got it. Appreciate it.
All right, any other board members? Go ahead, Secretary Ross Isakani.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I also wanted to address that Civil Beat article about the Army lease negotiations. I've been following this one extremely closely and have been asking questions of Stephen Downs as well, who's been answering very well. I think this is one of the most pivotal issues that Governor Green is going to face. I mean, this is our land, and the idea that the federal government actually threatened to take land from Hawaii, given the history, it's incredibly short-sighted. So I applaud the governor for what he's doing, how strongly he's standing up. The question I had, because I know he released that 9-page letter to Driscoll, the Army Secretary of State, and very detailed. So thank you for the transparency. What I wanted to ask, because it's so complex, $10 billion is a huge number. Is the governor's team, and this is just a curiosity, is there outside counsel engaged? Because I just don't know how this works. But to me, if I was negotiating a $10 billion deal, I'd want some big New York law firm to be helping me with that. So just a humble question to the governor.
I'd be happy to ask.
Thank you. Any other board members? Board member Bob Armstrong, please.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say, Adam, first of all, thank you for being here. And number two is, it's very easy, and particularly in this era of politics that we all live in governance, to find bad guys, who are elected officials. But I thought, in my opinion, the governor stepping up to fill in the gap for those many, many, many thousands of people who need food assistance during this shutdown period was courageous and appropriate and moral. And I just want to, as one taxpayer, hopefully representing a few more, say thank you for the humanity that the governor's office showed these people.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. I'll be happy to pass that along.
All right, any other questions from board members? All right, not hearing none. I'm actually going to go back online. To Alexander. Go ahead, Alexander. Go ahead, Alexander. Unmute. Go ahead. No. Can we unmute him, please? Okay, can you, Alexander, if you can hear me, can you please unmute? You're muted right now. Okay, next we go to Edith. Please, Edith.
Hi everyone. I don't know, but I was thinking it's gonna go. Are we already talking? I'm representing Senator Rhodes.
To who?
I'm representing Senator Carl Rod.
No, not yet. That'll come up, okay?
Oh,
But right
okay,
now we're
thank
talking to the
you.
governor's representative. Okay. All right. So let's try this one more time. Alexander, can you hear me?
If you'd like, I could read the question.
No, I'm going to read the question if you can't hear me. So Alexander, I wanted to discuss a current issue making the news about public corruption, specifically the acceptance of $35,000 in 2022 by an influential legislator. I have created a petition to be submitted to the legislator next session to create an investigatory committee to look into what occurred and whether any state laws or ethic rules were violated. The petition can be found on change.org and is entitled Restore Public Trust, Investigate the Unknown, Legislators. It can be found on change.org. You get
Okay.
that?
Got it.
Okay, so we got that, Alexander. Thank you. All right. Anyone else? And the reason why I'm calling people online is because I missed them to begin with. My fault. All right. Not seeing any. I want to thank you very much.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you. You have a good day. All right. So next we'll go up. Let me see if just in case, let me check if any other elected officials are here who's substituting for someone else that's usually here. Any other elected officials? No? Okay. So we're going to start off with Congressman Ed Case representative. Congressman Ed Case, any representatives? All right, not hearing none, not seeing none. We're going to go ahead and move to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative, Ian Sante.
Hi,
Go ahead,
good
Ian.
evening, Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for the time. Again, Ian Santee, Deputy Director of City's Emergency Services Department, and Mayor Blangiardi's representative. Just carrying over the questions again. Question was asked again by Board Member Lai, and I guess we didn't answer this or it came up again. CORE is reviewing their current operations, and we are adjusting our expansion of hours for the CORE program. CORE has already extended some hours until 8 o'clock daily, Monday through Friday now, and we're doing it as a trial project to see how that can affect and address and help the community in the downtown Chinatown area. All the park issues were brought up, and as you heard from HPD, again, they do their checks and they cited individuals for park closures. If you do have a problem in the park, please call 911. The Department of Parks and Recreations works closely with the Trust for Public Land and on a major development for the park, and the project includes building a new comfort station, redesigning several areas to improve safety and visibility. Again, the Kama'ili Mini Park, again, 130 Baratania Street has always been a question. Again, the mini park is still under the fire department's jurisdiction, and we have a number to give you. If you have more specific questions about that, you can call Jason Torres at 733-7118. A question was brought up about hurricane shelters, and the city collaborates regularly with the state to work on projects to retrofitting buildings for hurricane standards. The Department of Emergency Management has a variety of up-to-date information on their website, and pretty much evacuation is the last resort option. If you do not have any other options, you want to go to a hurricane refuge area. Again, www.honolulu.gov/hurricane-evac. And a stop sign request was for Smith and Pauahi, and the Department of Transportation is conducting a survey to investigate the necessity of that, as well as reviewing all traffic collision in that area. And they will reform the board upon the completion of their investigation. Question is about the bus route, Route 20, Aloha Stadium, and DCS confirmed receipt of the copies from August 4th letter of this year, resolution of 2020-25-03. And again, DCS is aware of the concerns. Committed to designing a transit system that serves the needs of Honolulu residents by integrating the existing bus with the new and expanding Skyline system. And Honolulu build software issues. DPP, as with any enterprise software implementation of this scale, there is an anticipation of issues that are coming up. And in first 2 months of Honolulu build, from August 4th to October 10th, they issued 1,487 quick permits and 1,166 solar permits. This is just slightly lower than the same time period last year. This program replaces a 28-year-old software, is no simple task, however, remain committed to the project. Lastly, just some announcements. Again, please check the mayor's newsletter for any highlights. The City Early Education Center relocated, and the new sewer rates will in effect January 1st. And Royal Hawaiian Band will be having a Christmas concert again on 7 p.m. This on November 28th, open to the public, and it's free. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Ohana Jazz Trio, Royal Hawaiian Band, Kalei Stern, Karen Keavi Hawaii, Malia Kai, and Kalani Oliveira. And the last thing is, again, please sign up for electronic press releases. And you can go to www.honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter-sign up. Available for questions, Chair.
All right, thank you. Anyone in our audience who would like to address the mayor's representative? All right, audience person, hold on. Go ahead. Go up to the microphone and your name.
Hi, I'm Jana. I live in Kukui Plaza. Can you clarify? I think you mentioned something about the park under the fire station's jurisdiction. Are you talking about Kamali'i Park?
Yes.
So what does that mean? Because we're here because of the efforts to build affordable housing there. So it's under the direction of the fire station?
No, the current jurisdiction is under that park, and I believe last meeting, Chair, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Department of Housing and Land Management Director came and did a presentation about that specific information. Correct?
Correct.
I'm confused though. You just said it's under the jurisdiction of the fire station.
Correct. According to the department, because again, it's a park that was transferred over to the fire station. The city is working with the fire department under their jurisdiction to research and provide information because it's currently under them at this point. So they're working with the city to gather information, and I believe they did have some public announcement, or they will be having some public informational sessions. So I don't have last month's notes in front of me right this second, but I think if you do refer to that, you'll be able to get more clarity on that.
Okay, so again, to reconfirm, what I'm hearing is the questions that we had last month cannot be answered because you need to ask them our questions.
No, I apologize if I'm not making myself clear. The question that was listed last month was very specific about a resident about adopting the park program. So because it's under the fire department now, as Chair Carvalho noted, the Lions Club is offering to fix the broken sprinklers, but are hesitant if the ends up being redeveloped. And that was the question from last meeting. So anything to deal with the park currently as to maintain the upkeep and so forth, you would have to contact the fire department. As far as the future of the park, that is with the Department of Housing and Land Management.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Okay,
Thank
so hold on, ma'am. Can you please stay there? I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to let my vice chair go ahead and interject right here.
Yeah, thank you. Because I really wanted to address this point. Last month, we had that presentation by the mayor's representative, and I was like really, really angry to find out yesterday in the news that despite the community sentiments at the meeting, which is overwhelmingly against the development of Kamali'i Park in our community, the city and county has selected preferred negotiating partners to develop the affordable housing at Kamali'i Park, despite everyone's sentiments not to. Then I see today, the title guarantee building is completely empty and vacant. The title guarantee building is 7 stories tall with parking and is completely empty. It could be easily converted to residential housing much quickly and much cheaper. So a very specific question is, why is the development of Kamali'i Park more attractive for low-income housing, right? Because it reeks of corruption, right? Someone's getting paid. This doesn't make sense. So we need answers. Thank you very much.
Hey,
All right, thank you.
Can I?
Yeah, just real quick. Go ahead.
I really appreciate what you said. That was spoken well because it displayed our sentiments, because we're really angry. I wasn't aware of the results that came out yesterday and today. We've been trying to get answers. We had an RFI and they denied it. So yes, it does sound very corrupt.
Okay.
Please note that for the record.
All right.
Jana Ewing, Kukui Plaza.
Jana,
Thank you.
Jana, don't give up what you guys are doing.
Yes.
Continue to do what you guys are doing, please. All right, because you got the people behind you.
Join the fight.
All right, now, before we go back to the regular board members, I'm going to go back to the online. Anyone online that is not a board member that wants to speak? Nope. And then I think I have to come back this way one more time to the man wearing the UA chat. Do you wanted to say something? And remember, please make it for the mayor's representative.
Yes. Hi, my name is Lucky Lock Ing. I'm a resident over 25 years at Kukui Plaza. Anyways, I did speak to some fire department personnel at the fire station right by the Kamali Park, Central Fire Station. Okay. Anyway, right across from 4th Street Mall. And anyway, my understanding is that they're against having something built over there. Of course, they're city workers, so there's kind of like a conflict of interest. So my understanding also is that they have no say actually or custody of that park. So I'm getting mixed messages from you and from speaking with the fire department personnel over at the Central Fire Station. So who's really in charge of that? Can you find out for us?
Yeah, no, thank you for the question. We can definitely follow up with the Honolulu Fire Department of what information that they have been discussing out there, and we will again get back to you. But again, it is my understanding as again the director from the Department of Housing and Land Management was at the board meeting and did his presentation, and we will definitely follow up on those questions.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. You have 2 minutes.
This one's quick. Doug Pyle again, a Kukui Plaza resident. I know people want to get to the resolution agenda items, so I'll be really fast on my question to the city representative here. Comment really. I think a lot of people are very upset that what we've just been discussing was rammed down the throat of the community rather than coming and finding partners. That's basically it. Other cities have done it smarter. Look at Portland's Pearl District. They engaged the community and came up with positive solutions. That's not what's happening here, but it could if we change course.
All right. Thank you very much for that statement. All right. Okay. Board members, board member Shulan Superquack, followed by Bob Armstrong.
Ian, can you hear me, Ian? Hello?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, and you were going so fast, so I really want to hear course, hours, and days. Is it Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, and extended from 8 to 8?
No
Yeah.
problem. Yep, no, I will repeat it one more time. I apologize. Core's hours currently are 7 days a week, 7 to 3. We are working on a pilot project on extension hours, particularly Monday through Friday, occasionally weekends, but it's focusing on Monday through Friday to extend Core's hours from until 8 p.m. That's what we are currently doing.
All right. Thank you. Board member Armstrong.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo this because we do want to get to the resolution eventually, but the history of this mini park was that it was a park, and then we worked over a year to give it to the fire department, and it was an awful long year of negotiation. And then there was a new fire chief, and he was the one, my understanding, who didn't want anything to do with the park, and so now it's a no man's land. All I know is that it's not a park because the police has done a very nice job in the last year or so moving people out of the place because you can't habituate there. That's not the word I want, but you can't be there like you could in a park. And so that's been kind of a positive. But it is in a no man's land, and like Sean said, and I know that you had a similar feeling, Mr. Chair, when the Housing and Land Management Office came here last month, it sure seems and feels like they're taking it over, and this is what we're doing because it's one of 4 properties they want to develop.
All right. So I'm going to go really quick. I want to clarify something really quick. So because Honolulu Chinatown's Lions Clubs and all the Lions Club that I have throughout in Honolulu, I do a lot of cleanups, especially Beretania Parks and all these other parks. So okay, I'm sorry, because this is my understanding. I do a lot of cleanups in these parks with my Honolulu Chinatown's Lions Clubs and all the other Lions Clubs in this area. So what it is, I got to talk to the superintendent, all Parks and Recreation, Denny Higa, and he clarified to me that yes, the fire department still has the park, not them. And that's what he clarified to me last week. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Ian. Just one last thing, because last month's meeting and presentation, the city and county represented there's 3 other properties being considered for development, right? And all of a sudden now it's down the Kamili Park as decided. We'd like to know, at least I'd like to know, I think the community deserves how explanation as to how Kamili Park was decided upon, what the economics were with respect to choosing that location over the other 3, and if title guarantee building was even considered. Right? Thanks.
No, thank you for the question. We'll follow up for you.
Okay, Board Member Secretary Rossi Isakani. Board Member Isakani, yeah, we're on board time right now.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Ian, this won't be a question for you, but I figured I would just chime in with my understanding of the situation right now. So this park, it's not under the jurisdiction of Parks and Recreation, but it is city owned. So this is what our understanding is. The fire department is just responsible for maintaining it, but it is still city owned. Now, we all know we're in a housing crisis. These are just the facts. So this mayor has made it a very specific directive to all his departments of basically, we want to look for city-owned land, and we want to explore ways to see if we can leverage city-owned land and turn it into housing. So that's just a general directive that the mayor's made. Now, the City Department of Housing and Land Management has been given that directive to go out and find city-owned properties that are zoned for housing, that have infrastructure that might be appropriate. And they've identified 4 at the moment. And my understanding is they might try to develop all 4 of those if the situation is right. Now just to finish that out, that's why they're choosing partners to potentially develop, but is by no means a done deal. I've spoken with the Department of Housing and Land Management. What needs to happen next is it has to go to the city council for final approval. A ground lease has to be approved. A developer contract has to be approved. That will be our opportunity for anyone who's vehemently opposed to it. You have to show up to the city council. You have to make your voices known. You have to call your council member. You have to call the mayor. That's the way to get this done. But it's not a done deal, but the city council and the mayor are very pro housing. So writing on the wall doesn't look good. So
Yeah, so you will definitely, everyone that doesn't want to see this converted, you need to go to city council. Everyone's going to need to go to city council. So because they're going to have to hear it. Because what you got to understand, we have no power here. We're an advisory board. And that's what we do. We advise. But you're going to need to go to city council. And this is where all the action will be taking place at. Go ahead, board.
Mr. Chair, I just want to say that I think many of us, if not all of us, are pro-housing, especially affordable housing. I'm just not anti-park like the city is right now.
No, and I agree with you. It's kind of sad that they took a park and put it against housing. The 2 big issues within our state, parks and housing. As you know, we hardly have any parks left here in the Chinatown area. But we'll work through this with the community, okay? So, is it a board member line? Go ahead, board member line. And you'll be the last before I close this out.
Chair, thank you. I realize that this is under Mr. Santi's time, so I want to wrap it back up to him. And I know that, Mr. Santi, you are just the messenger here, so thank you for taking all these comments. To Member Fitzsimmons' comment earlier, I did file a UIPA request asking for that particular information from the city, and it was denied for reasons stating that the lease has not yet been decided upon or agreed upon. And again, it just points to the fact that if that information is not going to be available until after the fact, it really sounds like, as Member Isakani said, the writing's on the wall. So secondly, there may be some confusion about the park itself because the board, and will remember that it was on 4 April 2024 that no less than Captain Mark Bates from the HFD came to our board and told us that the property was transferred out from HFD. But at the time, he didn't know to whom it was being transferred. So we've been operating under that assumption that it was no longer part of HFD. So thank you for the clarification. And whether or not that plays a role in moving forward, we'll have to see. But again, thank you for relaying the information. And lastly, I do hope that your notes today that you've been reporting on, will they be eventually submitted and posted to our Google Drive for others to review? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
So
for the
before-
questions, and yes, they will be.
okay, before I close out, Nicole Reed, is there something you wanted to say? Nicole?
Hi. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm not able to share video. I'm got home with the kids, but I wanted to just share a position of our experience, and I'll make it quick, regarding Hotel Street as an operator for Halloween and the day after. You know, first off, we saw 9 officers on October 31st issuing jaywalking citations for people crossing Hotel Street. Now, although we acknowledge that it is a public safety hazard to have people crossing the street, this is not a new problem for this area, nor would it be on a national holiday. And what we felt were punitive measures could have also been measures to keep people on the sidewalk. But instead, you know, jaywalking tickets really just upset people, and then they take it out on the neighboring areas or on the businesses themselves. So we're a little concerned that this seems to be the response, especially after the opportunity we had to have a block party on, you know, a newly minted space that would seem to provide the actual gathering place that we need for a lot of people. However, you know, to go back in time, this is the same problem we were having, where we had HPD major that, you know, wasn't really on our side as far as keeping the public safe. I think if we're trying to keep public safe, then maybe there's better ways than jaywalking tickets. I know that it occurs all over Chinatown, but historically, it puts us in a bad position with everybody, and it doesn't actually protect public safety. So my ask for today, to keep it short and wrap it up, is to ask the city, the mayor, for and also Councilmember Dos Santos Tam's office to look into the actual figures of the public safety of diverting buses off Hotel Street or managing the amount during that time, given the amount of people that are going to be there in a historic entertainment district, especially on a national holiday like Halloween on a Friday. And I would just like to know how many tickets were, you know, these officers issuing, how much did they bring in off of
All right,
the
please
clients?
wrap it up, Nicole.
Yep. So if the city can please ask HPD the number of officers, well, how many tickets were issued? And then if they could also ask OTS through DTS the number of buses that are utilizing that road from 7 p.m. till 3 a.m. And then the number of riders that are occupying those buses. Because my guess is that the amount of people that are visiting this BMX4 is more than the people on the buses. And we'd like to work with the city to protect public safety too. Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you
Nicole,
for your time.
you need to wrap it up, Nicole. Thank you. All right, thank you. Did you get that, Ian?
Yep, we will get an answer for you next month. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to close this up and we're going to move on because I know we're going to get a lot of questions coming up on the resolution. Yep. So we got lots to go. So this is done. Thank you, everybody. Next, thank you, Ian. You have a great day. See you next month. On Ian, can you please send me the report so I can put it on the Google Drive? Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next, we're going to move on to City Council, District 6, Tyler Dos Santos Tam. Is Will here? Will? Will, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I was having trouble
now.
getting
Go ahead.
unmuted. Hello, everyone. I apologize for not being there in person. Just a couple of updates from last month's meeting. Chulon had asked for an update on the public bathroom in Chinatown. I just found out today they're planning site visits to pick out a site for the public restroom. So that is moving forward. Great news. Also wanted to let everyone know that there will be an E&V sewer fee meeting on strategies on how to save on your sewer fees on November 18th. You can find details in our November newsletter, which I believe Ernest probably included in this agenda. Another update, we are coordinating with the International Rotary Club downtown. We'll be repainting the columns coming into Chinatown on River Street. So that's exciting. There was a question about the bus only lane not being clearly marked. So we have put in a request for the street to be painted with bus only. So that's more visible because it is a very small sign. That's as much as I have for updates. So I will leave it to you guys if you have any questions.
Thank you. Anyone here in our library who has any questions for City Council's representative? Nope. Anyone online that is not a board member, do you have any questions? Nicole, is that your hand up? Nicole?
It's the same for the city. I know
Okay.
Councilmember Dos Santos Tam. Sorry, Nicole Reed here, resident and business operator on Hotel Street. Yes, it's the same questions that I listed earlier to the mayor are applicable to our council member as well. Yeah, thank you so very much.
Of course. Yeah, I think I can. So the issue with Hotel Street is it is tied to a significant amount of federal funding because it is a dedicated bus street. That federal funding can be compromised if we're shutting it down for events. So in order to get permitting for downtown events, we basically have to say Hotel Street will continue to operate as a bus only street, or we risk losing that federal funding in addition to all the federal funding we're losing right now. So that's my understanding of the issue, but I certainly understand the frustration, and it's been something there's been a lot of back and forth on. So I appreciate your concern. And it was a major blow and disappointment, I think, for everyone that Honolulu didn't happen this year. So we're hopeful maybe we can get it to happen next year.
All right, thank you. We'll go ahead to our board members. We're actually going to start off with board member Kevin Lai this time. Go ahead, board member Lai.
Chair, thank you. Just a question for Will. I've tried to download the report from the council member that's posted to the Google Drive. Currently, the file has a .11 newsletters extension. It does not appear to be a PDF file or a Word document file. Can you confirm or send to us a PDF version of that report? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can throw it in the chat or email it to Ernest and you can distribute it that way.
Send it to me and I'll go ahead and put it up, this one, because it was
Perfect.
opening for me, so I don't know. All right, so go ahead, Sean Fitzsimmons, Vice Chair.
Thanks for coming. I noticed that Tyler is pushing through or trying to push through a bill that prohibits bikes and e-bikes on the sidewalks in downtown and Waikiki. I appreciate that. I almost got hit by a biker on my way to daycare with my infant and my stroller. So I really appreciate that. I like take pictures of like the people that are riding on the sidewalks. Like, I feel like a weirdo doing it, but I really appreciate Tyler actually taking this so seriously. Like, Lori, I also appreciate you doing all the work that you do to put the infrastructure in. I just want people to use the infrastructure that you put in. But thank you very much for pursuing that. I think it's really needed. Thank you.
Right,
All right.
I'll pass that along to him. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Board member Shulan Shubert-Kwok, please.
Aloha. Well, I attended a function where Lori discussed the Chinatown Station, and that we had a workshop on June 25th. And we all assumed that at that workshop, our ideas will be incorporated in the planning of this the Chinatown Station. But lo and behold, I found out that our comments don't matter because it's only for cosmetic reason. And the workshop that they propose for the upcoming December 11 doesn't really matter because it is very misleading for HUD to call it a workshop and call community meetings, and then our input don't matter because we have advocated for a extended bike ramp so that handicapped people, strollers, can get up to the third floor in case of an electric, no electricity and elevator breakdown. So at this point, I'm very disappointed that it wasn't clear.
Yeah, you're not the first person to tell me that, and I'm sorry that that seems to be the way things are playing out with Hart. It does seem like most of the feedback they were soliciting was just purely cosmetic. Yeah, it's frustrating, and I apologize for that.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? Member Secretary Rossi Sukani.
Thank you, Chair. Hey, Will, I just wanted to
Hey,
follow
Russ.
up. Thank you for giving us the information that Councilmember Dos Santos Tam will be making a request for like distinguished paint markings on Hotel Street. I mean, yeah, this entire board has complained about the personal vehicles on Hotel Street, and they often claim they don't know. So those paint markings, similar to what's on King Street for the bus-only lanes, can really help. My question is more just to understand how exactly is the council member making that request? Is that going to be through the budget? Does he make that? Which department is in charge of that? Is that Department of Facility Maintenance? I'm just curious because as a board, it just helps us to understand how things get done. That way we can, make our requests to the right organization beforehand. So
Yeah, sure. You want to know how the sausage is made? Great. So what we do is we put in a riser to DTS. And DTS, they've got a backlog. I'm not going to lie. It's going to take some time, but they will respond. The riser system kind of keeps the agencies accountable. It's public record. It tracks their response and everything. So that's that. We put that in 2 weeks ago. So if we're lucky, we'll hear something back in the next 6 weeks. If we're unlucky, 2 months, 3 months. Just trying to be realistic.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? Nope, not hearing any other board members, so I'll go ahead and finish this up, yeah? So I strongly disagree with painting Hotel Street red. I live on the 20th floor on Hotel Street, yeah? And the last thing I want to look down and see red down there. Most of your vehicles that are coming down on Hotel Street, some are cars, regular cars, which the police won't ticket because they're saying it's tourists, so they're letting them go. But majority of them are actually Uber and Lyft. Because I got to talk to a couple of these Uber drivers and Lyft drivers. They say they're getting directions from them to go down on Hotel Street to pick up the people. So I think City Council needs to do a job and reach out to Uber and Lyft. I mean, I could do it, but I think it's your guys' job because I don't get paid for all of that extra work. But to paint the streets red, I mean, I live on the 20th floor, and as Shulon will tell you, or Bob Armstrong will tell you, who've been over my home, I literally can see everything that happens on Hotel Street from River all the way to State Capitol and all the way this way. So I see everything. And that's a color that I don't want to see red every single day of my life in my face. And people in my building have voiced opinions. They don't want to see the red color. We can come up with alternative answers. That will be great. All right? All right. Thank you very much.
I hear you. My understanding is that it could also be white. And I did, one of the board members, I can't remember which, I think it was at the first board meeting I was at, had mentioned the Uber issue on Hotel Street. I was able to get in touch with Uber's Hawaii statewide representative, and he assured me Uber is not sending drivers down Hotel Street. So if that's what they're saying, I don't know who to trust on this, but they have told us that's not happening.
Well, actually, they are. I mean, I caught an Uber the other days, and they came down on Hotel Street, okay? So they're definitely doing this, especially late at night. Now you see Yellow Cab. Yellow Cab goes on Nuuanu. They go on Smith. They go on Mauna Kea. They do not go on the Hotel Street. But the Uber and Lyft do go, especially late at night. They go down Hotel Street. See it all the time. I can see everything from where I live, and I don't go to bed till late. So, all right. Thank you.
I hope they're not taking shortcuts, but if it continues to be a problem, I'll reach out to them again and say, hey, man, what's going on?
I appreciate that. Next, we have Board Member Laurie McCartney.
Thank you, Chair. You know, what we've been talking about for Hotel Street is not painting it red. maybe that's a new idea, which is fine. But if you just look at that street, there's a small sign that says no turns. That is not effective. If we have at each of the intersections, do not enter, that big do not enter sign, buses only, that will solve, I'm guessing 80% of it. My experience with DTS as far as signage, because I've tried to get signage going, it's a very long process, but it takes like ongoing nagging, basically, to make it happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope that you guys will just keep at it so that we can protect people that are in our main corridor there in Chinatown. Thank you, Will.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate your persistence on this. We'll keep at it.
Ms. Connie, I'll give you a follow-up and then we'll close this out.
Thank you, Chair. And more of a response to you, so that way Will can hear. Perhaps it might be appropriate for a future item for board business that we just discuss it. I mean, there might be differences of opinion on what to do with Hotel Street. And you know, I mean, we have paint on King Street for the bus lanes. That's not horribly offensive to the eye.
Yeah.
So maybe just a board vote might be good.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but King Street doesn't have all those apartments and all that. So we can have a discussion on this at a later time if somebody wants to present on this. All right. Thank you very much, Will. Do appreciate your time. All right.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Have a good day. And please send me another a PDF or Word document. Okay. On the
Yes,
report.
thanks for the reminder. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to move on to State Senator Carl Rose.
Hi, everyone. I'm called Edith, a state legislative intern. I'm going to be representing Senator Rhodes. He's not present for this meeting today. So 56 million in general obligation bond fund have been released as a cash infusion for rental housing revolving fund for HPHA Kylie Momi Development, Mayor Wright Homes. And according to Senator Carroll, regarding the Cap Park, the Department of Transportation informed our office that the project will be, they do not know what will become of this project as of the moment. So they are still looking into that. Senator Rod has held a series of informational briefing on the rule of law in relation to recent action of the Trump administration and how its decisions are impacting the state. Information about past and upcoming briefing can be accessed on the Senate Judiciary Committee webpage via the legislative website www.capitol.hawaii.gov. And the videos of the briefing are available on the Senate YouTube channel through the live and on-demand video tab on the website. The Office of Senator Carl Rhodes are preparing bills for next session. If you have any bills, ideas, you can let us know. And if you want to contact the office, our number is 808, I will write it in the chart, 808-586-6130. Thank you. And I will be, if you have any question, I can take it to the senator and he can respond to any question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Edith. Do we have anyone in our lobby here in the library who would like to say something to the senator? Question? Nope, not seeing any. Anyone online? Not seeing any. Any board members? Sorry, Board Member Armstrong.
Edith, I wanted to thank you and, of course, the senator for your assistance in helping us relocate with the Department of Transportation a noise camera to the corner of Poly and Vineyard, as opposed to River and Vineyard, where less people live. As many people know, we have tried to police the noise situation. It is a low priority for the city and and especially the state, but it is a major issue for quality of life here in our neighborhood. So every little step helps, and I wanted to thank the senator for getting directly involved in and having the Department of Transportation re-examine their decisions, especially since one of those noise cameras is on H3, where literally no one lives. I also wanted to congratulate, and I need to say this because I have great admiration for the senator, that Civil Beat called him the most effective legislator in the state Senate. And I have no doubt, based on the 7+ years I've seen his actions, and I was also
10 seconds left.
And I was also saddened to hear and read that he has announced his retirement almost immediately after that article came out. So we are losing a very good legislator, and I'm
Please wrap it
sad
up.
about that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edith.
Thank
very
you so much, Mr. Robert. Thank you.
Any other board members? Not hearing any board members. Oh,
Chair.
board member Lai, because I'm
Thank
not
you,
used
Chair.
to you being online.
Thank you, Chair. Edith, first, welcome and thank you for joining. Appreciate your comments tonight. I want to emphasize something that Member Armstrong just mentioned about the request for a speed camera on State Road Vineyard, but at the intersection of New Anu Avenue as well, because it is a major thoroughfare for folks who are heading onto H1, leaving from the downtown area, and find it necessary to gun their engines, and their engine noises are very annoying to many of our constituents. Secondly, as far as legislation for next session, if I could put a plug in here now for a request to a bill that will extend the amount of time that HOAs or AOAOs have to collect votes when they have votes for their associations on key projects. Recent legislation constricted that to just 60 days, which is really not viable for many associations. And I look forward to working with Senator to develop that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna take your questions back to the senator. Thank you so much.
All right. So seeing no more questions, we'll go ahead and move on. Thank you very much, Edith. You have a good day. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have State House District 25, Kim Coco Iwamoto. Is Katie here? Kate Herman? I don't see Kate. I did get a report. The report is in the Google Drive. They didn't have much to say, but look out, check the report on the Google Drive, please. All right. Thank you. All right. Next, we have State House District 28, Daniel Holt. Daniel Holt, are you here? And did you send a representative? Not seeing any. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and next we move to monthly reports, including discussion on board/community inquiries. These are only 3 minutes each, guys. We'll start off with Honolulu Board of Water Supply. Iris, are you here?
I'm here and my report will be short. My announcement is main break updates. When a main break occurs, the Board of Water Supply works quickly to reduce the impact to customers, protect public safety, and restore service. For the latest updates on main breaks, generally for 4-inch and larger mains, or information on how repairs are made, go to our boardofwatersupply.com/mainbreaks. You can also stay informed on Facebook and Nextdoor. And for larger and more impactful main breaks, sign up for HNL Alert. So that's my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone in our lobby here in the library who has any questions for Iris from the Board of Water Supply? None? Anyone online besides board members? Not seeing any? We'll go ahead and move to board members. Any board members have any questions? Nope. All right, Edith. I'll see you next month unless you took another holiday.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. You have a good day. Next, we're going to move to Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation, HART. Harry Cho, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Harry Cho with the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation. I did want to mention, I did hear your comments from earlier about our design workshops. I would like to clarify the purpose of these workshops are not, for the public to determine, major design features or, determine whether or not we install escalators. The purpose of these workshops are primarily to gather feedback on some of the finishing touches of the station, like artwork and landscaping, designs and colors and what materials are used. So just wanted to clarify that, and also announce that we are holding another workshop upcoming later this month for the downtown station, which will be held on November 19th, 6 p.m. at Aloha Tower Marketplace. And also I wanted to mention that this is the first round of workshops that we are holding for each of the 6 stations. This next one for the downtown station is the last of the first round of workshops, which will be followed by a second round of workshops, which will be held through the remainder of the year and into next year, for all of the 6 stations, where our designers will present updated station designs to the public with all of the comments that we received incorporated into the updated design. So just wanted to mention that and welcome everyone to continue participating in this process and join us at our next workshop. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone in our audience here in the library have any questions for Harry Cho? Nope, not hearing any, not seeing any. Anyone online? Not hearing any or seeing anyone. Is there anyone online? Nope. All right, we'll go to the board. Any board members have any questions? Go ahead, board member Schubert Kwok.
Harry, can you hear me?
Yes,
Harry,
yes, I can hear you.
the workshop didn't help at all in terms of infrastructure change. It was already pre-designed before the workshops were announced to allow community input. So it was just not really meaningful, because we were told today that it's only for cosmetic and that they would not alter anything that's structural, and a bike path or a ramp is really not structural, because it's part of landscaping going up to help those with wheels that they have handicap. So I don't know why it was so difficult to make that small change.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Harry.
No, I don't have any response to that. I don't know how far along the designs are, or whether a bike ramp is or isn't incorporated, but I'm
Okay.
sure that question can be answered at our next workshop, where our designers will present an updated design to the public.
All right, thank you. I do appreciate that. Can you do me a favor? Can you stop your screen sharing so I can see other people online to see if somebody's raising their hand? Thank you. Everyone, just so you know, what he put up on the screen, it is in our Google Drive Neighborhood Board 13 in November meeting, okay? You can see all that there. Thank you, I do appreciate that. Any board members have any questions? Yes, Harry Cho. Go ahead, Secretary Rossi Sakani.
Hey, Harry. I just wanted to ask a general question on the construction and the road closures on Nimitz Highway right in our neighborhood. I don't drive a lot because I like to catch the bus and public transportation, but when I was driving down there, just my opinion, it's very confusing as to where to turn, where to stop. I'm just a little concerned and wondering who's responsible for monitoring if we can make improvements to the signage, to the blockages, just because, I mean, I think I'm a good driver, but even I was worried that I was making a mistake and I'm going to end up on the wrong side of Nimitz Highway somehow. So just a curiosity, always seeking continuous improvement. What's being done for that area? Thanks.
Yes, understood. It's an ongoing process with our traffic engineers and the State Department of Transportation, specifically for Nimitz Highway. But our team and the state DOT are always looking for ways to improve the traffic condition and the traffic control plan that we've implemented. So if you have any specific concerns, you can feel free to share them with us. But beyond that, it's just an ongoing process to ensure that the roadways are safe.
All right, thank you. Board Member Lori McCarney, please.
Thank you, Harry. I have a comment. I actually do drive, and I drive on Nimitz a lot, and I turn left on Bethel Street. And first, I'd like to say that the way that the construction is being contained and what have you seems really good. You know, it's nice and contained. There's still 3 lanes of traffic going each way. I find it much better than Dillingham, for example, or some of the other streets. But I just like to commend Hart and Tudor Perini for how that's been handled. At the same time, Bethel Street is confusing, and I know that there's some discussion about that. There's 2 lanes that turn left into Bethel Street at the end, but there's a light before you get to it, and there's a single lane. And I'm never sure if I should go through the red light that's in my lane to fill up the 2 lanes that are turning left. Because the light is red, but I know that there's cars out in traffic behind me. And it just seems like that one light could maybe be adjusted to work better to get traffic out of the lanes. So anyway, yeah, I use it daily. So I appreciate but I just got to say, I appreciate the way that it's set up there. So thank you.
Yeah, I know which term you're talking about, and I know there's a sign there that says you shouldn't, go past this line on red, and it is a bit confusing. So I can request that our traffic engineers take a look at that and see if anything can be adjusted there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions from the board? All right, hearing none. Thank you, Harry. See you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is Chinatown Improvement District CID with Lee Stack. Lee, are you here? All right, not seeing Lee, we go ahead and we'll move on to Mauna Kea Villages. Greg Payton. Greg, are you here? All right. Greg Payton, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I'm technologically challenged today. Okay. I think I'm on. I wanted to my name is Greg Payton. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, board members. My name is Greg Payton. I serve as CEO for Mental Health Kokua. One of our programs is Mauna Kea Village on Mauna Kea Street in Chinatown. And I'm sad to announce that after 30 years of providing services, MHK's Safe Haven program has to close due to federal defunding. We have served 33 formerly homeless single adults with serious mental illness in permanent supportive housing. However, we have opened a 50-bed Cal Holly facility.
Right, can you speak louder?
Yeah, we have opened a 50-bed Cal Holly facility in Eva Lay Center across from the Punawai Rest Stop, the Homeless Hygiene Center. It's located over in the Neighborhood Board 15 district. It's funded by the Governor's State Office on Homelessness and Housing Solutions. And just like Safe Haven, the new Cal Holly at Eva Lay Center will serve homeless adults with serious mental illness. And so if there's people in Chinatown that are homeless and you have concerns about them, you can contact me and we might be able to take them into the new shelter. I want to take a moment to thank the Neighborhood Board 13 for your support over the last 30 years. MHK has tried to be a good neighbor and respond to community concerns related to homeless services. That's my report, and I'll take any questions you might have.
All right, so thank you. So you're stating now that you're no longer in the downtown Chinatown area, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do we have any members in our library here who would like to speak to Greg Payton? Ask any questions? Nope. Anyone online that is not a board member? Nope. Any board members? Go ahead, Board Member Armstrong.
Greg, I just want to say I think I share the sentiment with a few people here on the board. You have been amazing, as well as your organization. I'm really gutted to hear that you've lost the federal funding, because you're an important neighbor and a care provider, and we're going to miss those services. And I just want you to know, though, that you've been a great servant to our community, and thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? Not hearing any. I'm going to just end this one up. Greg, thank you for all the service that you have given to our area. We thank you very much for everything you've done for us. We will be missing you, but you're going to be in Kalihi, so you'll be serving a bigger area also, yeah? All right.
We're just a short distance away. If there's people that are homeless and you can tell that they're psychiatrically impaired, please refer them our way.
I'll be sending them your way. Trust me. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to go with the Chinatown Business Community Association, CBCA. Shulan Sugar Kwok, please.
Thank you, Chair. We held our 16th anniversary Chinatown Heroes Award dinner recently, and we had roughly about 200 people who supported CBCA attending, and we honored Stephen Carr for retrofitting the Mauna Kea Tower, which housed 700 people, and without interruption of their lives, because they just moved them one floor up at a time. And it's a very important development because the building was so old that this gave new life to the people in affordable housing. So that's why we honored him. And then I just wanted to also share with the community that CBCA, along with Mauna Kea Marketplace owner, formed the Chinatown security team. And we hired 2 private security guards, and we monitor 3 corridors in Chinatown: North Hotel, Kekaliki Mall, a portion of Mauna Kea, and the backside, Pauahi Street. So when you stroll down Chinatown, you notice a big difference, that it's a lot cleaner, so we're getting a lot of help for the folks. And we are spending Mauna Kea Marketplace money for the security guard because we don't have other sources of income to provide that service. And we also sign up a lot of owners of businesses and property to get this free service so that we can move the needy off the sidewalk for security reason, for shoppers and kapunas and kids that come into Chinatown. So we are also requesting that our council member extend the sit live beyond 11 p.m. because we have businesses that open late, and that we are having, quite a bit of traffic from downtown. The unwanted folks are being chased down to Chinatown because they formed the Downtown Improvement District, and they have 3 security teams helping them push the people down to Chinatown. So we are really in need of more help and more volunteers to help us monitor the streets and keep it safe. That's my report.
All right. Thank you. Anyone here in the library has any questions for CBCA? See any? Anyone online besides the board members? No? Any board member? Go ahead, Laurie McCarney, board member Laurie McCarney.
Chulon, that sounds fantastic. I just have a question about the Chinatown Improvement District compared to the work that you're doing with Mauna Kea. Is there overlap?
With different organizations, because the Chinatown Improvement District is an organization owned by of owners of properties. Ours is a grassroots business and community association for poor people, usually struggling. So we're not property owners.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions? No, not hearing any. Shulan, I want to thank you and CBCA for all you do. And I actually want to thank you for your Heroes Award dinner that you gave to all those 5 outstanding heroes in Chinatown. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move on. Next, we have Neighborhood Citizens Patrol. Kevin Lai, please.
Chair, thank you. In light of the hour, I'll forego any sort of video presentation or recollection of our findings, but I do just want to take a moment to put on the record for the transcript that I want to invite everyone to join the Downtown-Chinatown Neighborhood Citizen Patrol. We meet on the second Tuesday evening of each month at 7 p.m., departing from the Diamond Head Tower lobby area of Kukui Plaza. For your GPS, that's 1261 Fort Street. I invite you to bring your family, friends, and a camera, join our patrol, help us identify the areas of concern within our community, and we can bring these to light to our elected representatives. There are now a number of patrols that are in our area, but if you are free on the second Tuesday of each month, we welcome you to join ours. And we'll have more information coming up next time around. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Thank you. Anyone in our library who has something to say to Kevin Lai? Anyone online? I've not seen any board members. All right, no, thank you very much. Next, we'll move to item number 9. Business board, including discussions on board/community inquiry, 5 minutes each, okay? First, 9.1, board vote on, first of all, I hope everybody got a chance to go through all these resolutions. When we go to 9.2, I'll explain 9.2. First of all, 9.1, board vote on resolution 2025-04, resolution urging increased police resources and public maintenance funding for Evil Chinatown and downtown Honolulu. Did you guys get to read it? Are we going to dismiss it? Do we have any motions? No?
Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Chair, thank you. I did have a chance to review the draft resolution. I think it was raised at the previous meeting and then deferred for consideration at that time. I did make some notes that there were some significant areas of potential improvement. I have read the document in detail and made those suggested improvements and posted as a floor draft in the Google Drive. And these, for the purposes of the board members knowing and the public, I did remove the duplicated resolved clause. I removed the blank spaces in the document. I repaired the okinas around the term a la park. I replaced the incomplete sentences, updated the date of submission. And also, I think that the floor draft is what should be considered, and I will proffer that for adoption tonight and hope that a second can be made. The discussion that follows, I hope there's one point of issue that I think that the board should consider regarding withholding of payments to IHS, but we'll get to that in due order. Thank you.
Is there a second? All right, not hearing any. This is dismissed. All right, next we're going to 9.2. Board vote on resolution 2025-05, urging opposing all housing developments at Kamali'i Mini Park. This was written by Bob Armstrong and helped by with a member of the Kukui Plaza. And you guys all know him very well.
Doug Pyle.
Yes, we know. All right, we appreciate it. But before we move on, I'm going to give Board Member Armstrong a chance to explain what's going on with the 3 different resolutions that you see there.
And it's kind of made things confusing. And so because the original resolution is on the agenda, that's the one we're going to entertain. I appreciate other input, but at this point, we're going to have to work with this original document of opposing all housing development at Kamali'i Mini Park. I want to say the genesis of this was, of course, after, I was just stunned last month at the response of the city. And while I might disagree with somebody else on the board, I think this feels very, very much like a cooked plan that was obvious from the start. And we just haven't had the proper vetting of it, certainly from residents. There has been no board, I feel very confident in saying, there's been no board in our community, on our island, that has been as generous and as selfless about housing in all strata than the Chinatown downtown neighborhood. We have hosted more kauhalis. We have, I can't think of one housing development, low income or whatever, where we've turned it down. Now, many haven't come to fruition, mainly because of interest rates and the general malaise or recession that we seem to be in. But we recognize that this is a huge issue for the future of our community, let alone our neighborhood, and that is we support all types of affordable housing. This is not that issue. This is about saving our parks and about appropriate use of small pieces of property like we have at Kamali'i Mini Park. I want to say that also finally, or not finally, but also as a part of this, we have been talking about parks for years and years and years. And it's already been referenced that Smith Baratania is probably the best example of what happens when a community gets together and loves on a park and helps bring it back to life and gets the unpleasant elements out And, you know, like you said, Ernest, it was the Lions Clubs, it was New Life Church, it was the Downtown Arts Center, and it was a community coming together. We have also shepherded Kamamalu Park, which is to the right or to the east of the YMCA, who is now in current jurisdiction of that park because they want to develop the park as a feature of the YMCA and of housing development. And we'll see how that plays out. And Ala Park has always been on the table. It is now a part of the Land for Public Trust. Whether or not it gets the public funding or the federal funding that I envisioned many years ago, up to $20 million to redevelop that park, and that was way too much. We'll see, but Ala Park is on the table, and people are talking about it and caring for it. And I think there's a small bit of improvement there, although the restrooms and the stuff toward River Street still need to be fixed. And then that brings us to Kamaili Mini Park. I don't hear anybody proposing where we're going to replace this park. The only idea that's ever come in front of this board was covering H1 with, you know, this was Senator Rhodes's idea, which is a multi-million-dollar idea, covering it with a literally a roof, and then making that causeway throughout our downtown and Chinatown area one big park like they have in New York City that used to be rail lines. Well, that's a wonderful idea. It's also 10, 20 years down the pike, and that's assuming we all vote in a different manner than we did the last federal elections. So that brings us to this resolution, and that is, I just feel we have to be very solid with the city and not be vague about we oppose all housing developments at Kamaili Mini Park. It's just too small a place. There's not enough parking. If there was a development, it has nothing to do with the ideas of the development. It has everything to do with losing a park.
All right, thank you. Can you work that out?
And so that's what this resolution is. I hope you'll support it because I think we need to send a very clear signal to the city and county that it is not acceptable for them to ramrod just pieces that they own and say, we're going to do what I promised, and that is make housing. There's lots of other options, like Sean has mentioned tonight on several occasions.
All right.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I actually now would like to call up Mr. Pyle. Go ahead, Mr. Pyle.
And thank you all for coming tonight. I really appreciate your attendance.
Well, thank you for calling on me. I know there's others who want to testify as well, so I will be very, very brief. And in fact, about 9 people left who couldn't stay this long to wanted to testify in favor of this resolution. My name is Doug Pyle. I live at Kukui Plaza. You've heard from me in previous meetings, and so I don't want to repeat the same arguments that a summary is very much stated by the introducer of the resolution. Yes, housing. No, not in the loss of these trees that you are seeing it now on the screen. Thank you for pulling them up because I want to make 2 points in my testimony. One that is new to you. One is, it's not just my opinion or those who've come before. I've got data for you if you want to represent your community as has been already characterized as strongly opposed to the idea of losing that park for whatever, you know, for whether it's a good cause or not. It's like there's other things we want to use. I've got a few of us are just started, and we already got over more than a couple hundred signatures on a petition. And this is, I've done petitions. This is the easiest petition I have ever done before in my life. You know, so like, do you want to save those trees? Do you want to like, or do you want to build a high rise on it? Give me your petition, I want to sign. People would come up to me and say, hey, I heard you've got a petition. Please let me sign it. And we just started. So this is, and some of the folks, you know, most of them are in our community. Our communities, you now have data. The community opposes the plan to build there. But we support housing. That's part of the petition. We wholeheartedly support the building of affordable housing in downtown. This is what people are signing on to. But we cannot support construction that destroys the 41 trees in the park. Preserve green spaces, and I'm taking a few key points. Preserve green spaces and provide affordable housing for workers. These should not conflict. We can get on this together in favor of revitalizing some of those abandoned buildings. taking me to my second point, which is in the presentation with the pictures. We have all said, hey, look, there's green space and there's empty buildings. Look at them. This is just the beginning, right across the street in Fort Street Mall, across from the Kamali'i Mini Park. That in fact is looking at on the left, the fire station, and you can see the green trees behind it of Kamali'i Park. Right in the foreground, across the catty corner, across that street, empty and for sale, and some of them are for lease. You keep going down where HPU has abandoned some of those buildings. Build there, make housing there. The vice chair has suggested other buildings that are vacant throughout the downtown area. I counted just, thank you, Nicole Shatanti, for walking with me. We counted about, I had a few, I forget the count, but it was like 10 buildings even before we left that corridor down to King Street. And then there's some along River Street that could be revitalized. There's so much we can do to bring back what's positive. Here's the picture of where exactly they want to build it, according to the preliminary sketch of the architect. Right there in those trees. Is that the first one? You can go ahead and slide past. Oh, this is a nice shot. So this is what you do if you go through the park and look up. A lot of the proposals to build there, they don't do that. The next one I think is going to look down. That's what they show you. They say, oh, it's a neglected park. Yes, it is. And part of the resolution is please take care of it. Please take care of it. But you look up and that's the trees is what you see. So go ahead into the next one. This is the trees doing work of environmental, what was it? Pulling in heat, pulling in the carbon, pulling in the pollution, putting it into the ground. 41 trees, and those are just some of them, providing shade for preventing those heat islands that are well documented as a problem in urban places. And we're going to lose that benefit if we lose the trees. Next one, I think just more. This is when you look up. It is the potential to be beautiful. It is beautiful when you look at the trees. And if with you pass the resolution, you're going to ask the city to take care of it. You're going to ask the city to ask partners who want to take care of it, and the ground will look as nice. Thank you. Is there another one? Just more of the alternatives for housing that doesn't lose the last stand of 41 trees at the city. Thank you so much for the comments and your support and the opportunity. I speak in strong support of adoption of the resolution.
Hold on. Before you go, I'm going to play devil's advocate because a lot of you guys going to have to go to, like I said, city council.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that I know that they're going to be bringing up is why are you folks trying to save this little mini park, which has been desolated, which we Lions have tried to get, but we're not going to do it because of the city plans until they make a decision. Why are you guys trying to save this park when Kukui Plaza between both towers has a park probably about 6 times bigger than this park with trees, with barbecue areas and swimming pools? So no, I'm asking a question to Doug. This is a devil advocate. I'm playing devil advocate for Human City. I support.
I'll go ahead and I'll take that.
I support Doug, and Doug.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. Some of the questions that's going to come up city council. Yeah. Also, all those buildings that you're showing, that we were showing. You got to remember the city's trying to build on their properties, not other people's properties. Right. Yeah.
Okay, those 2 points real fast. I'll do the property first and the park and the. Okay, so the properties has the city even tried those signs in the windows? Take all that stuff that's been done secretly behind the scenes that was already addressed to get this thing going before they even talk to us in the community. I'll volunteer. In fact, I am going to call some of those realtors they have in the windows and say, has anybody from the city called you? Would you be interested in a deal? I'll bet some property owner would love to do that. That's my response on the city-owned stuff. Plus, why is it city-owned? It was brought into the protection of the city to preserve space like that. That's why it's city-owned. Second, so you asked about the devil's advocate argument. Kukui Plaza was an affordable housing project. It's got a big history. Won't go into all of it, but they were at least wise enough at the time to include and incorporate green space. Let's do that. Take that as an example for other developments.
I just have to ask a question. You know, I support you. I'm just trying to
But
you
that's
guys
what they will
prepared
raise.
and ready, because city
I
council
understand it.
will come out hard on this.
Yeah, I know.
And because it seems like to many people that they've already steamrolled this. That's what it seems like. We don't know. But
Yes.
next we're gonna go to Sean Fitzsimmons. Go ahead, Sean.
I agree, totally support you guys. But
Thank
the,
you.
the issue is like, I think also like by utilizing only city lands to streamline this development,
Yeah.
it's clearly less transparent, right? You guys pick up what Kevin Lai stated earlier. He sent a UIPA letter asking for information and he got denied, right? When you're spending money, Uniform Information Practices Act is the equivalent of a FOIA request, but it's like the state equivalent of it. But anyways, like it's like when you're using public money, I think transparency is paramount, right? The fact that Kevin couldn't even get an answer with his UIPA letter is suspect to me, right? And there's empty vacant buildings, right, that could be easily used, but instead they want to spend all this money and pay all these people to do all these things, which doesn't make sense. It reeks of corruption. We have a with the history of corruption in our government. Smells like that here, unfortunately. And the thing is, if there's any pushback, he's the mayor, right? Figure it out. You're the mayor. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Don't just be constrained to the fact that, oh, my plan is to only use city lands. 1060 Bishop wasn't city lands. It was developed. It was a commercial building that was developed into residential housing, and it's open now. Same thing could be done for the title guarantee building. Thank you.
Can I respond really brief?
Yes, you may.
What I'm holding is those signatures. They would be, they've got your back if you've got theirs. They're supporting the resolution because they support the same concept. They support housing like in empty buildings. They don't want it in the parks.
No, I understand. I agree. Next, we're gonna go to Secretary Rossi Sukani, please.
Thank you, Chair. I think this should be a lengthy discussion because it's such an important one. So Doug, I'm going to meet with you tomorrow, actually, and we're going to talk about strategy going in front of the city council. One of the things I really think is important is we get our facts right. So that's just what I want to lay out. And Sean, I mean, just want to explain my understanding. My understanding is there's actually going to be no city taxpayer dollars spent on this. It's city-owned land. They're partnering with a developer. And I just want to state the facts because once we start stating misinformation, elected officials are going to stop listening to us. So my understanding is there's not going to be any city taxpayers paid for this. They're partnering with a developer. They're probably going to give them a really cheap ground lease, which is a use of funds, but there's not going to be taxpayer dollars. Now, my other theory, and we can check on this, is the reason Kevin's information request may not have passed is there might not be a ground lease drafted yet. I'm just saying. There might
I
not
do
be.
UIP letters all the time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there might not be a ground lease drafted yet, so they can't release something.
No,
because
but a
it's
lot of
drafted.
times,
But when it's in front of the city council, that is when we have to send the request because the city council needs to read the draft before they approve it. So I just want us to get our facts and our stories right, so that way when a lot of you show up in front of the city council, united front, saying the right information, and the city council doesn't say these are a bunch of NIMBYs that don't know what they're talking about.
So you see, everybody's trying to give you guys help to move into the next process. Okay, we support the community. Okay. All right. Any other board members on this one? All right. Thank you, Doug. I'm going to go next to this young lady, Jana.
Thank you, Ross, for what you shared. I think I want to agree with Sean is what I'm hearing. You're giving us information now that we didn't have. So that's all we're asking for. When you're saying there's no money being spent on this development, how would we know unless someone tells us? We don't know the questions to ask. We don't know what we don't know. And yeah, for the information request, excuse my French, that's BS. Okay, so I want to know the timeline of how this came to be, how the land was selected, why it was selected, what happened to the other 3 properties, why downtown, again, vacant property, why is not the state and the city and county? That land is our land. Think of the song, that land is our land. We pay state taxes, we pay federal taxes, we put our time and energy into raising the economy of our state. And if the effort that you guys put in to write those damn freaking jaywalking tickets into helping the homelessness, that's happening in our state and the crime. I mean, to me, this is ridiculous. I'm beyond frustrated. We're beyond frustrated. We want answers. I want a timeline. I want an action plan. I want to know from A to Z how it started and where you plan to go. I want dates, names. I want to know who is on the damn city council, how I'm going to get there, how I can make an appointment if I have to knock down the door and call in sick and freaking show up at the damn state capitol. I will, but you need to help me get that done.
Right.
Because I don't know what the hell I don't know. And somebody needs to help me today.
So all you need to do is reach out to any of us here on this board and we will help you guys. That's what we're trying to do here. Help you. We support you guys, but you guys got to tell us what you need. When this first came out, I took Doug and Doug and I went around the city and I showed him all these empty buildings and Doug will attest to that. And we went all over Chinatown and all that. And there's tons of empty buildings that could serve the purpose right now. So good questions. Just as any of us, we will help you guys. Okay.
Right. But okay. So every meeting we go to, the message changes. First is affordable housing. Then it's the park. Then it's for people with disabilities. Then it's to help people who work in town. Like, what is it for? Because the story keeps freaking changing. Like, talk to us straight. Like, we're not stupid. That's what pissed the shit out of me.
Yeah, and I think like the issue too, like it's whether or not taxpayer money is being used to construct it, like it has been used historically to maintain these spaces. Yeah, and so I think that, you know, transparency to the public, they've been using our money to maintain these spaces this entire time. Transparency with respect to the process, the selection is the least they owe us. You know what I mean?
And I might add that, you know, there is no such thing as a free lunch with the city and county of Honolulu. It's not the state, by the way. Get that out of your vocabulary. This is a city and county issue of Honolulu. But if we give tax breaks to somebody to develop it, that's out of our pocket. If we have to pay money to build a new park because people have no urban spaces to relax in, that's got to spend money. So let's get off the idea that this is a free ride and somebody else is going to take care of it, because that doesn't work in government. It doesn't happen that way.
And by the way, the salaries for all of these people come from us. So yeah, it ain't free because I'm paying for it.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I feel like it's important.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and give her more information.
And by the way, I'm not arguing
And then-
at all. Well,
and then from
trying to help. No, I'm trying to.
and then from that point on,
chopping
move on
it.
to someone else.
Ready.
Yeah, and let me just share that I don't work for the city. I'm a volunteer community advocate. So I actually have stepped up and seen issues at the city council that I've gotten passionate about. And one of the first things you have to do, and by the way, our information is public. I'm meeting with Doug, so come, I'll share information. But I am a more frequent testifier at the city council than I'd like to admit. I will take off work and I will look at the agendas. I will go to www.honolulucitycouncil.com. They post their agendas online. It's not easy to follow this. It's government. They don't make it easy for us citizens to follow this. They post their agenda 6 days in advance and that's it. And you have to take time off 6 days in advance. But now that you're paying attention to the issue, you just have to get in the habit of it. And we can, you know, people who have done it before, we can just coach you. It just becomes a habit, a muscle to do. But that's
I mean, give us a playbook, because we from the time we found out on the news when it was announced about the 4 properties, we've been trying to have meetings every month. But again, the story keeps changing. The people who come change. The answers are vague, or we get deferred. We can't respond. I'll get back to you next month, and then next month, and then like we're supposed to get answers this month. Nothing.
I understand your frustration. And that's why I said, ask one of us here. We're going to do it. I've already talked to Doug Powell, and I've talked to other community members, and I've worked with Doug. Ross has been talking to them too. We're all going to talk with you guys. I even got my Lions Club, and we will adopt the park. So long as there's no housing put up there, we'll put in the infrastructure to get the pipes going, to get the water going. And we've got donations coming that will come in to get the green in there and flowers and everything else, and what we need to do. But we need you guys to stay consistent, and city council is where it's going to end up at. This is where the fight's going to go. Not here because we're just an advisory, but we just were invited. But city council is what we need to prepare for. And all of us need to prepare for that. And you guys got a couple hundred signatures. Great. Let's get 1,000+ signatures.
I mean, if
That-
you can just provide a calendar with these dates and these meetings.
December 10th, 10
whatever.
a.m. City Council. That's the only date you
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah.
December 10th. It's a Wednesday.
And that's where they're
10
going to vote already?
Well, that's,
No, that's where they started up. They will be starting
that's
the
who makes
discussion.
the decisions on this.
Yeah.
And anybody can go.
Anybody, anyone from the public can go.
And it's during the day,
Yes,
10 a.m. till whatever.
depends.
Okay. December.
Can I provide? And if I can provide clarity, 6 days before the scheduled meeting, they are required to post an agenda to their website.
Okay.
That agenda will show item by item all the things they're going to discuss. Hour, and some of them like last 5 minutes. That's the hard part. Oh, not to pay attention to what I'm saying.
Able.
Yeah, they can be long.
Are the public able to speak?
Yes,
Yes,
there is
yeah,
encouraged.
Okay.
You can submit I encourage you to submit written testimony through their portal and also sign up to present oral testimony. You can do oral testimony in person, or they do have, I believe, I think it's a WebEx, or it might be another form, but they will provide an opportunity to provide oral testimony as well.
Right.
Now, the challenging thing is sometimes you have to wait hours until it's your turn to testify, and you get fatigued and you have to leave. I'll give a little bit more context if it's okay, Chair.
Yeah, so I think we're going to start moving on to the next one.
Okay.
But just so you know, always give a written testimony because you can write as much as you want to. City council will only give you a minute. Only 1 minute. Once the minute comes, they're going to cut you off. If you guys think I'm bad by cutting you guys off, they'll cut you off faster. All right?
Okay.
We got the next ladies coming up. Come on. But we'll help you, Jana. We'll help you guys. We've
Thank you.
committed to this.
My name is Lynn Pyle, and this meeting is way too long, but I'm going to read what I came here to say for 2.5 hours of waiting. I strongly urge the neighborhood board to vote yes on the resolution to preserve Kamali'i Park. Among other things, the resolution calls for the city to better care for the park. To the city, I say it is irresponsible to refuse to repair the water sprinklers in the park and water the trees because of hope for future development. That's ironic behavior, given that in 2024, Hawaii Department of Transportation settled a groundbreaking climate suit brought by Hawaii youth in 2022. So I'm going to read from Our Children's Trust. The settlement agreement in Navahine versus Hawaii Department of Transportation confirms that youth have constitutional rights to a clean and healthful environment, and that the state of Hawaii has an obligation to protect youth's interest in a stable climate. And we can all participate in this by protecting trees, which help to decarbonize the environment. With its continued efforts to develop the park, the city is working against the interest of the state and also showing its contempt for Hawaii's youth, and especially the Navahine plaintiffs who went to court to fight for our environment. This debate shouldn't be about trees versus housing. This should be about trees and housing. I'm asking the city to build responsibly, and I'm asking the neighborhood board to vote yes on the resolution to preserve Kamali'i Park.
Thank you very much. That was great. So do we have anyone else that needs to speak? If not, I'm going to just suggest what we need to do is we need to get those signatures out there, collect more, get over 1,000. Then we need to strategize everybody together, okay? But we got to come together as a community. Our Alliance was able to save Smith Barratania Park, as he said. We gave money to both the city and Downtown Art Center, and they all helped us, and the churches around there helped us. So we can do that, okay?
Chair,
But
may I
not here.
vote if there are no more
We're going to go if we have one more. If not, we're going to go to the resolution to take a vote.
Can I quickly say something to the speaker? Very quick.
Go ahead.
What's her name? I'm sorry, Ms. Pyle.
Ms. Pyle.
Ms. Pyle.
Ms. Pyle.
I just want to say thank you for your statement. You really need to make that statement and submit it to the city council. That's the only place they're going to hear your voice.
Okay. You guys, we're going to be taking a vote. So if you want to stick around for the vote, yeah? All right. All right.
I don't get it.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion?
Yes, the motion is the resolution in front of the table, which is resolution 13/2025-03, opposing all housing developments at Ely Mini Park.
All right, do we have a second?
Ely.
Kevin's raising his hand.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All right, we're going to do we have any objections?
Discussion.
No objections first. You had an objection, now discussion. I'll call that, okay? I called objections first. Yeah, no, no, when object, I call.
But it is an
Yeah, so I'll call objections first. If there's no objections, it automatically passes. If there's an objection, then we go to discussions. Okay? Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I do not agree with the resolution at this point. I think that saying no development of housing development of any kind when we don't know what that development might be is premature and it's not consistent with the needs of our community. I'm sure that there was pushback for Kukui Plaza at a certain point because it's a huge building and I bet you there were a lot of trees there. And but at the same time, I think as a resident of downtown myself, I believe in public space. I believe in parks. I believe, though, that we are in such a crisis situation with my boys not being able to afford to live here because of housing, because of us not being able to have a police because it's too expensive for police to live here. We're understaffed. We can't recruit. I think that I would like to see the process go through. I would like to see it come to city council. I'd like to see the plans. I'd like to see if there's a way that they're mitigating for green space. And so I will be voting no on this resolution.
All right, Board Member Lai.
Chair, thank you. I want to draw attention to Member Armstrong and thank him publicly here, as I have otherwise, for putting pen to paper to draft this document for review. Although I had prepared a floor draft, which repaired and addressed a few of the concerns that I had about the original draft document, there are a few that the board needs to consider. I'll be moving these as friendly amendments requested first. And if not, then we'll do them otherwise. But first, the numerator of the resolution does not match that which is on the agenda. So for technical purpose, we need to resolve if this is actually Resolution 3 or Resolution 5. That can be decided by the chair based on when the document went into the hopper. Secondly, as Member Isokani said before, we need to get our facts straight so that when this goes out, it will be respected. And to do so, I strongly urge the Member Armstrong to accept as a friendly amendment to repair the spelling of Kamali'i Mini Park as such has been in the ledgers of the Department of Parks and Recreation and other city departments as this parcel has been transferred around, so that will be consistent. Secondly, when this goes out, if it goes to the specific department that is handling the development of the lease, we need to make sure that we are naming that department correctly. So that is an amendment that I'd like to propose here as well, just as a friendly amendment to make things readable. And so when this goes out, that it will go to the right place. Other than that, Chair, I do urge that we, before we go to a vote, make sure that we're in compliance with HRS 92-3.7C, which means that all voting members must be able to have video and audio communication with those who are at the primary location of the meeting and those who are otherwise participating online. And finally, as a point of information, if I could ask that the videographer take the camera and pan to show the gallery so that I and others on this record can see the number of folks who are at the meeting and have stayed. And I would ask that if you could oblige that, Chair. Thank you.
You should have done that earlier when it was fully packed.
I tried hard to get your attention, Chair.
A lot of people had to leave because they can 2 hour, anything over 2 hours is a lot of people just don't want to be here that long. That's why I've been trying to bring this down. Yeah, this was a standing room. So we'll get you next time, but this was a standing room. So everybody knows. Okay. So are you making a motion?
Chair, my request first was to the maker of the motion to accept as friendly amendments those very simple spelling errors that are currently in the draft document. With such, I will be voting in favor. If not, I'll need to make formal amendments to such. But I hope we can get this done straightly.
Okay, so you made a motion. Is there a second?
Chair, again, it wasn't a motion. It was a request of the maker of the resolution to adopt
ahead,
those
Bob
as a
Armstrong.
friendly amendment.
I recognize that you know, this is, you could have pointed this out, you know, 29 days ago when it was written, but I did not put DHLM. I put DHLD. That is a mistake on my part. I don't think there's any confusion over the spelling of the park, but we can pretend that there is. And I don't know if it's 3 or 5. Do you know, Chair, if it's resolution 3 or 5? That doesn't seem to matter.
Resolution 5.
5.
There was a resolution 4 that came before.
Okay, so
So it's resolution 5, yeah? 4 did not go anywhere.
I don't have any problems with the edits that if I characterize your edits correctly, I don't really have a problem with it, but I don't want to delay this because Kevin, you have an issue with making things perfect when it takes it's in the place of doing good. And I want to just do good here. And we have to keep that in mind.
Okay, great. All right, Kevin, you satisfied with that?
Chair, it seems as if the maker has accepted the friendly request, and I do appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna go. Is there a motion to pass the resolution?
Point of order, Chair.
To discuss the resolution. Do we need a second? Okay, discussions. Go ahead, Shulon.
Thank you, Chair. I've heard you guys, it's very emotional because in your backyard, because you do have a lovely 1.2 acre park for your 2 towers. It's very lucky to have that. And also you have next door, Nuno Park Place, also have a lovely park, swimming pool and all of that. But there are a lot of old trees that I like to see preserved in that park. But at the same time, I'm in favor of helping more people own homes. You own your own homes. There are a lot of people who don't have homes. So I'm not decided as to whether with just this information alone, where the city hasn't made any final decision on housing to say, no, I'm not ready to do that.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Sir in the blue shirt. Please identify yourself for the board.
It's Jack Woldhouse. I'm resident. What's that? Jack Woldhouse. I'm resident at Kukui Plaza. First of all, I've heard a lot about the park that we have in Kukui Plaza. Yeah, that's very nice, but it's owned by the people that live there. So it should not be considered that, oh, you have that. That would be like saying, well, you have a backyard and you shouldn't need a park. But secondly, a misnomer is that the park in Kukui Plaza, between the buildings, the soil in that park is only 1 foot deep. It can't possibly support trees the way the soil on the street level, that it can go, the roots of those trees can go as deep as they want. So that's an issue right there. Now, I'm not a biologist, I'm not a plant person, so I don't know how that affects, but certainly the trees that are in Kukui Plaza Park do not have the capability of growing and producing oxygen at the same rate as a natural tree that's planted in normal soil. But secondly, the shape and the size of Kamali'i Park is, there's a lot of inefficiencies unless they're going to have 0 lot lines where the buildings will start right at the sidewalk. It's very inefficient to have the proper setbacks. Now, I don't know what the setbacks are required. I imagine that might be considered commercial property with very little or 0 setbacks. But that's an issue. It's a very inefficient shape of a park to get the maximum you can out of it unless you put multiple stories. And then also what's going to happen with parking. This is already an over-dense neighborhood here. So in order to put in more high-density residential, I think it should be done on a larger lot that will be able to, that doesn't have all this high density traffic and occupational or occupancy already.
All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry, guys, I just had to move around because I just had spine surgery 2 days ago. So, sir, I want to answer your questions. I am glad someone was listening because this is exactly what you need to tell City Council. Exactly what you just said. That's what you need to tell them and explain this. This is what you guys need to do, and this is what we need to do as a community. We have to think about what they're going to say and how they're going to try to move this forward without our participation. But you guys need to be able to explain it. This is why I brought up the park at that, because I know they're going to bring that up, okay? So these are things that you guys need to think about. How are you going to shut them down by being able to answer them the way you just did, okay? So thank you very much for that. That was great.
Well, thank you for that information because I, up until tonight, was not really in tune with how to go ahead and voice my opinion on it.
That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Okay, thank you.
Are you guys familiar with the construction of Kukui Plaza, how it was made? Yeah, like you guys should read the first chapter of Sunny Sky's Shady Characters. It is literally the most corrupt residential building like in Hawaii, and it was because it was the most like not lack of transparent construction there was. So if you guys so like that's another thing to talk about.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Diane Nomura. I'm the administrator of the Hawaii Health Foundation. One of our missions is to improve the health of the people of Hawaii. I heard people just now bring up that we need more affordable housing, and I'm not against affordable housing. I am not against housing for people with disabilities, but I was at the presentation at St. Andrew's Cathedral, and this is not affordable housing for the public. It's affordable housing for people with disabilities. Okay, so it's not for your kids, it's for people with disabilities. I know someone who was born and raised here. He's now an engineer and an architect. He builds affordable housing on the mainland. And I heard that, I couldn't hear that well, but what I think I heard was that this was going to cost nothing. There's never a no cost, cost nothing. What happens is this affordable housing for people with disabilities is going to have to be subsidized by the city, which is the taxpayers. And this engineer, architect who builds affordable housing, he looked at that land and he said, this land is not able to build a building that is economically sustainable, which means that it's going to cost a lot and the taxpayers are going to be the ones that are going to have to maintain and bear the cost of this building. And again, I am not, and I don't think anybody is against affordable housing for people with disabilities. I heard the people, it was almost hostile because it was the people in support of the park and people who were there in support of disability housing. And I sat among these people and it was kind of almost, but I feel that it is disingenuous to pit two good causes against each other. And so anyway, so that's what I have to say for now. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna close it. We're gonna do a roll call, yeah? Get this done and we're gonna do a roll call vote. I'm calling the vote.
Point of order, Chair.
So once a roll call is called, someone calls for the vote, and I'm calling for a vote. Then we can move on to the vote, yeah? I've got a couple more items to finish up before 9 o'clock. This meeting will end at 9 o'clock exactly, and we want to get this done. And I understand everybody's wants to speak. This is going to be done.
Chair, point of order.
All right, so they want me to go ahead. Any of you guys at the board, any member here, any resident? Doug, didn't you just speak?
I never wanted this on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Based on some of the board comments, it perhaps is a misunderstanding. The petition was not of our building. It was of the entire community. There are people, Amy Peruso signed it, representative of the North Shore, residents of the North Shore. I see addresses in Mililani, Kaneohe, Kailua, all around the island. This is not about a couple of buildings. It's about the value of preserving a park and the trees. Thank you.
And I think it's awesome, but I also think that we need to start getting more signatures from the people here in downtown Chinatown, because that is so better explained, because this is our community, yeah?
And Chair, somebody brought up the fire department. I think we also need to pursue really what the impact of any kind of housing development would have on the fire department. Who wants to live next to the central fire station?
Right,
We
right.
had that discussion several years ago.
So as you know how I feel,
Yeah.
I think building the complex there is a way of getting rid of the fire department. But they have a problem with that because this is the oldest fire department in the state of Hawaii. This fire department was built during the Kingdom of Hawaii. This was the first fire department. So this is my conspiracy theory that they do want to move it. They've been wanting to move it for a while. And we all know that. We've heard from the fire department that they wanted to move fire department.
$30 million. Yep.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna give Rossi Sukani a chance, and this will be last.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I just want to say appreciate the dialogue. This needs to happen in front of the city council. It can't just happen here. Regrettably, I am going to vote no on the resolution. I'm sorry. And I just want to give some context. I actually live in Kukui Plaza. I live in the Diamond Head Tower. I live on the Diamond Head side. I look out over this park every single day very fondly. So I support the intent wholeheartedly as a resident. But I'm speaking as a community advocate and a volunteer one. I go in front of the city council and elected officials for a lot of different things. And I'm just going to say that while I support the intent, and I will go and testify with you all as well, signing the resolution, I fear in the resolution form is just going to be read by our elected officials. My fear as NIMBYism. They're going to pick it up, look at it and say NIMBY, and they're going to start ignoring us. So I'm willing to keep talking to all of you and like strategizing on what's the way we deliver this message when it comes in front of the city council. But if we look like NIMBYs, they're going to block us out. That's what we have to
All
overcome.
right, so this is that's it. I'm calling for the vote.
This is not, I need to say, this is not Manoa. This is not Hawaii Kai. And everyone knows
Mr. Bob
on this
Armstrong, we're calling for
board,
the vote.
everybody knows that I have always advocated for affordable housing.
Bob, we're calling for the vote. Please take the roll call vote.
Not in your backyard.
Support the resolution.
Yeah. So this is a vote for, wait, let's make sure, a vote opposing all housing development at Kamaili Mini Park. So if you vote yes, you're in favor of opposing all housing development. Okay.
With the amendments Kevin Lai stated, okay.
The friendly.
Okay. Armstrong.
Yes.
Fitzsimmons.
Yes.
Isokane.
No.
Lai.
Yes.
McCartney. No. Mestis.
No.
Schubert Kwok. Shintani.
Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
5 ayes, 4 noes, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Point of order, Chair.
Thank you all.
Chair, point of order.
Remember, 1 minute. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Chair. Again, as I point out, we have just violated HRS 92-3.7C because this is such an important vote. I think it's important that we do it properly. I would ask you as chair that we either revote or not, but can you please ask Member Mestis if he is able to provide audio and visual communication during the vote? Otherwise, his vote does not count as per the Sunshine Law.
So if he cannot present it, Dan, did you hear that?
Yeah, Member Lai, I herniated a disc on the 26th and I'm on my back right now, so I don't have that capability.
Okay, so we can void his vote, which was a no.
Correct.
That way it won't go there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. The vote passes, guys. You guys got to keep this up now. If this is what you guys truly want, you guys have to fight. It's going to take you all the way to the city council. All right. Thank you guys for coming. We do appreciate it. All right. Next, we're going to go on to continued early morning leaf blower use near residential buildings in downtown area. Kevin Lai, can you take the lead on this one since this is yours?
Chair, thank you. And very briefly, I just want to provide an update to the community on the impact of early morning leaf blower use at the area between the Vineyard Zippies and the Queens Hospital Center at the corner of Vineyard and Nu'uanu Avenue. I've spoken extensively with both the directors of the company that owns Zippies and the director of communications at Queens Hospital and Queens Health System. As it turns out, there is a vendor that is being used and employed by Queens Health Services who steadfastly does not follow the directions and the mandates of using leaf blowers before the hours of 8 a.m. Mondays through Saturdays. Queens Hospital has pledged to attempt to address this issue, but to date, there's been no evidence that they have had a successful communication with the vendor. So two things. Number one, I want to thank the representatives from Zippies for making it clear that this was not an issue with their property, their employees, or any vendors that they may have. Secondly, this appears to rest fully on the lap of Queens Health System. So I bring that to the attention of the community to see and consider if they are being good neighbors. And so I hope that they will provide a solution for this. But this, of course, addresses the larger issue of livability in our area, noises both from leaf blowers, engines, and other things like that, that we do need to continue to address as a board. And I will keep the board apprised of the way this progress is going. And thank you for, Chair, the opportunity to bring this to the board's and the community's attention. Thank you.
So if we need to, I think we should get a presentation from Queens and all these other places around here. All right, thank you. I'll keep a track of this one, yeah, because I've got a lot of people yelling about noise. All right, next we have State DOT Traffic Summit. I asked Shulan to go to this two-day summit because I couldn't make it, and I want to thank Shulan for going to the summit for me. Thank you.
Chair, this should be deferred because there's not enough time.
Agreed. So I will defer this, okay, to next week. So next we have events. The Honolulu City Lights Parade is November 29th. Anyone that wants to join Downtown-Chinatown to walk in this parade, please let me know. If you have family, your family is invited to walk with us in the parade also. Just send me an email so I can get an exact count of how many people are going to walk with the Downtown-Chinatown. Maybe you guys can come from Kukui Plaza and show your support. Okay. All right. Announcements. NCO and Toys for Tots Toy Drive. Our neighborhood assistant will be collecting donated toys for children at tonight's meeting. This was posted. The next Downtown Chinatown Neighborhood Board number 13 regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, December 4, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. at Ke'ilio Kalani Middle School and virtually via WebEx, Olelo Channel 49 for every third Thursdays at 9:00 p.m. as well as 9:00 a.m. on the fourth Saturday of each month. An archive of past meetings may be found at olelo.org by searching on Downtown. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.